Hello and welcome to Final Show Films. Before you enjoy the following production, there's just a few things I'd like to get out of the way first. Starting off, I'd like to thank all of our patron supporters, especially our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic, Cat, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. If you'd like to support us, you can do so on our Patreon at patreon.com/fsfilms, as well as by following me on Twitter at Johnny Bates, following and subscribing to us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Senstaku, on YouTube, youtube.com/Senstaku, and on any of our podcast feeds, links to which you can find on my Twitter account. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I hope you have a good time. Bye. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran Terra Rebirth post-Gen Con me, which is to say, I'm tired. Anyways,
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I'm the game master for this evening, and it feels like it's been years since I was on my own Twitch channel. It's only been 2 weeks. But joining me today is William.
Hi, I'm William. I was also at Gen Con, which means I am also tired. I'm playing Gashkar, the half-orc barbarian.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I was not at Gen Con, but I'm always tired anyways because I'm old. I am playing Harry, Halfling Battlemaster Fighter.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I was at Gen Con and had enough sleep and then didn't, and so I'm tired. And I'm playing Hope, Azamar, Rogue Barbarian Monk.
I like that roller coaster you just took me on.
Yes.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I was not at Gen Con, but that doesn't mean I can't be tired. And I am playing Lulu, the halfling. I almost said barbarian. She's actually a blood hunter.
Join us, Barbarian.
That would make 4 barbarians on the team.
Do it.
Do it.
Cody.
Do it now.
I haven't considered it.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Corbin, the human battlemaster, and I also did not go to Gen Con. But I'm also tired all the time, too, because life.
What we're determining is that this is a very tired group of people. And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Gwynferon, the high elf divination wizard, as well as Ashkill, the wood elven warlock that lives in his brain. I was neither at Gen Con, but I got a whole 4.5 hours of sleep last night, and I feel fucking fine, so I don't know what the rest of you wussies are talking about.
I know, right? Anyways.
Will, I like sleep.
Sleep is nice. When last we left our adventuring party, they were traveling through the snow, through the snowy tundra of Isenfeld to find their way to the small town of Snowdrift. And on their way there, they were being accompanied by Sigurd. Wrong Sig name.
Yep.
Sigurd.
Sig Vicious.
Sig Vicious. They were being accompanied by Sigurd, a Goliath barbarian who was apparently out hunting frost giants when they accidentally teleported into the middle of the fight.
What I want to know is, does Sigurd have a gunslinger brother, Sig Sauer?
No, he does not have a thing. Anyways,
Again, missed opportunities.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like I'm the GM. Anyways, and in addition to dragging behind the severed heads of these frost giants, one Harry Appletea was dragging behind the severed penis of one of the frost giants. Which, when last we left off, they had just camped for the night, and Harry had carved off a chunk of that in order to eat, which at least 3 people were eating some of it, and the rest were using their own rations, as it was.
Rations! That's what they're for!
So that's where we left off. The night passes uneventfully, unless there's anything you guys want to have conversational-wise while you're sitting underneath a snow-driven overhang inside a Liamon's tiny hut, out next to a fire and a bunch of frozen heads and penis.
I feel like we need another hour and a half of solid genitalia puns before we can really get on with the rest of the game. So
go ahead.
No. Gwyn is going to sleep.
Okay, assuming you all sleep and rest. Nobody jumped out saying, "Ooh, I have a thing I need to do."
Lulu might.
I'm not entirely aware of the situation, and so this may have been asked already. Do we have someone on watch? Are we with a large group or in a place?
You are in a large group of yourselves plus Sigurd. No one's been declared to be on watch, but I assume that you guys put together a watch. I don't assume you guys don't put a watch out.
Yeah, I was just clarifying because we don't normally when we have the full house, but yeah.
Yeah, I assume a watch is being held.
All right.
So the night passes and the next day dawns. You guys set out once again, bright and early. Sigurd going over and grabbing the chains and starting to drag these frost giant heads again through the snow, leaving a nice furrow for you all to follow in. And you recall that Sigurd had said you're about 2 or 3 days away from the town that he's heading to. So, is there anything that you guys want or need to do in this second day of travel?
Yep.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say with the exception of Ice Pelt, we have no mounts, so everybody's on foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is it dark?
I forgot Bosco again.
Damn it!
This would be the place for an ox. It's cold.
Is it what, Aaron?
Is it? I'm trying to find the correct thing. If it's dim or dark out, I move faster.
It is not currently dim or dark out. It is a snowy tundra.
Probably
There's plenty of sunlight.
The lowest members of the party. Got it.
Yeah, and it is fortunately you guys are traveling in the furrow being made by Sigurd, so you're not being hindered too much by the snow, and he doesn't seem to be hindered at all by the snow, so you're not moving any slower than you normally would thanks to his giant heads.
My fur is going to get so many icicles on it.
Oh yeah.
I take off my armor.
Okay.
My armor is why I'm fine, so I don't take it off.
Yeah, no, it's heavy, and I'm sick of snow, and I'm very quiet for what's different.
It is very cold. You guys all do have winter clothing. Except for Gashkar doesn't need it. But even with the winter clothing, as the day goes on, you'd think the sun would help warm you up, but it doesn't. This area just seems to suck all the heat out of you, out of your clothes. Strangely enough, Sigurd doesn't seem to be bothered by it, even though he's wearing less clothes than all of you. In fact, occasionally his body just starts steaming for no reason. But other than him, it is freezing.
Gashkar and Ice Pelt are fine.
Yeah, the white worm is fine.
Yes, the white dragon blood wyvern and the person who has gear specifically resistance to cold is.
I will ask Gwen if he wants to or has any plans to replace the spells in our storage slots.
Yes, no. End of the day, anything that I haven't used before we rest, I'll definitely get recharges. Who actually? Yes, let's go run. Who needs? Does anybody have your hand spot thing empty?
I know I used one at the temple to contact Selena. Did I use my second one? I cannot remember. It's been a little while.
No, you didn't.
All right, I'm gonna use that real quick.
Okay.
Try and contact Selena again. Same message.
Okay. There is no response.
Okay.
Mine has a feather fall in it, but I can get rid of that if we need or want something useful in there.
Mine's empty.
All right, so Hope will need one.
Gashkar's is empty.
Gashkar will need one.
And
Corbin. Corbin will need
I've
one.
got ideas though.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
if you need something, once we find a place to stay for the evening, come talk to me. We'll discuss what I can do and what you want, and we'll see what we can fill up for everybody, respectively.
So, after a while of walking, you find Sigurd sort of stops, pulls to a halt up ahead of you. You've been walking up a hill slightly for a while. And as he sort of pulls to a stop, the rest of you group gather around, and you see that he stopped on top of a hill. And as you step up to the ridge line, the view before you falls away, and you see massive fields of tundra ahead of you, and off in the distance there is what appears to be some collection of structures that has some amount of smoke rising out of it. From this distance it's hard to make out much detail, but it definitely looks like hide-covered buildings, some form of civilization, and Sigurd sort of points out to it. There's our destination. It'll be
Are those yurts?
Some of them, yes.
I've always wanted to sleep in a yurt.
Looks like we're about a day out. So, and he sort of points, and you see he's about halfway between where you guys are now and this group of civilization. There is a massive indentation. It looks like, from the distance that you're at, it looks almost like a footprint, but massive in scale. Like, you imagine that the closer you get, the less and less it'll look like a footprint, just because of how perspective works. We'll be staying in the Titan's Tread, he says, indicating the giant footprint. And then from there, it'll be next day before we get to town.
Where's the next one of those footprints?
We're not sure.
Oh. Which direction is it facing?
It's facing sort of south.
The footprint is?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen one south. We've been on an airship. I didn't see one in the desert or anything.
You wouldn't see one in the desert, though.
Depends what the
And
sand's like.
even a Titan probably doesn't have a stride much longer than a mile, I would think.
Is it as big as the one that we saw or experienced in the tower?
Bigger.
Bigger? Okay. Yeah.
How long's it been there?
Years. Decades. As far as anyone can remember, actually.
Yeah, I don't think that Titan's going to be, like, coming back around and stepping in his own footprint, if that's what anybody's concern seems to be. But excellent. Yes, no, camping for the evening. Lovely idea. Let's go do that.
He hoists the chain and begins moving downhill towards this massive footprint on the horizon. After a day's travel, you notice that while there are definite signs of wildlife, and you guys could veer off and find things if you wanted, it seems that the six frost giant heads keep most predators at bay, as just sort of a threat determination, basically.
Something killed 6 frost giants and took their heads. We don't want to mess with it.
Basically, yeah. If things are if people are dragging frost giant heads behind them, and we can't deal with frost giants, then we don't want to deal with those. So most of the wildlife that would be hostile or threatening tends to give a wide berth to the party while you're traveling, so you don't run into any particular snags on the way down. As the sun begins to dip closer to the horizon, you do come up to the edge of this what looked from the previous instance to be a massive footprint. As you sort of walk up to the edge of it, you can see why this footprint has stayed here. It's not a footprint in the snow. You can sort of feel the ground underneath you begin to crumble as you get closer, and then when you actually get to the edge of it, basically what has happened was this was once a flat plain. The flat plain has been pressed down. there may have been Gwynferon, you can sort of infer this. There may have been a series of underground caverns or something in this area that meant that this particular part of land was not as sturdy as the rest, which meant that when whatever this thing was stepped on it, it just caved everything in, creating this permanent massive footstep in the ground.
Interesting.
You stepped in the wrong place.
Or the right one.
Sort of like
Unusual to have karst topography in a polar environment, but still fascinating.
would be something akin to stepping on a molehill, just several times bigger.
But
Caves
yes,
collapse easily.
no, yes, some level of ground subsidence, geologic instabilities, and one fucking huge footprint looks like.
Sigurd sort of swings the giant heads over the cliff, dropping them into the heel of this massive footprint, and then just sort of holds onto the chains, anchoring them into the ground nearby. If you all want to climb down, here you go.
Oh boy. All right. How
Why
tall?
not? Gwyn will attempt to climb.
Here, give me an athletics check. How tall? What?
How tall is the ledge down? How like far down is the sunk? Oh no.
It's a good about 40 feet. Like
Okay.
It's not
All right.
it's not massive, but it is pretty.
That's
it's,
enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have arm strength. Thump. I rolled
I
a
have
4.
rope.
So I mean, the chains are serving as basically rope. Like the
All right.
chains are the heads are the chains are long enough that the heads hit the ground. So basically,
Would it
what
just-
Sigurd is saying is you can use the chains to climb down rather than
Okay.
having to use anything else. Yes, Aaron.
Would it potentially just be easier for me to carry Gwen down than let him splat on his face?
Well, it would have been, but Gwen decided to go ahead and go. So Gwen gets over, grabs the chains, moves around, plants his feet, and starts trying to shimmy down, without taking into account the fact that these chains are very cold and have been dragging through snow. So
Slippery.
he sort of makes it about two hand shifts down before his hands go whoop, and Gwen just whoosh into the air. Would you?
Gashkar immediately
no.
takes after him on Wyvern back.
Oh, I was reaction featherfall.
Yeah. That's what I was about to ask. So as Gwen meets the air, he sort of makes a quick gesture and begins falling much slower.
He, however, does not reorient himself. He's going to gently land on his back.
So Gwynferon is angel diving backwards, very, very slowly, towards the ground. Gashkar, you can hop on Ice Pelt and fly down if you want.
I mean, I've been riding Ice Pelt the entire time.
Yeah, so you can certainly fly down. Gwen doesn't seem to be in any danger though. So
I mean, that doesn't stop her immediate impulse to fly after him though. As soon as she sees him fall.
Lulu was in the middle of offering support, and it's just like, okay.
the rest of you?
Do you want to go first, or who's up next?
No, go for it. Just
All right, I'll climb down.
Athletics check.
don't fall.
I think I'll be fine. I don't know why I have advantage, but
15.
15.
Yeah, 15. So you make the strategic decision to actually grab inside the link rather than trying to hold on to the outside of the chain, which
Yeah.
basically gives you a nice hand and foothold, and you very easily climb down.
Yeah. Giant heads make real good footholds.
The chains are actually very easy to climb down unless you roll a 4.
I mean, I did.
I mean total 4.
Yeah.
All right, so Corbin climbs down easy enough.
I'll catch if anybody falls, because I don't have magic like him.
As Gwen continues to star in his own John Woo film.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make snow angels when I get to the bottom.
After everyone else.
It's not
Hope.
fine. I'm not happy about this.
Athletics
Fine.
check.
It's slightly. It's just tall enough. Let's do this.
It's okay. If you fall, what's the worst that could happen? You die?
Natural 20.
Oh, no. Yeah, you go down easily enough.
Yep.
Harry and Lulu?
Hold on just a second.
Was that a hold on for everyone or a hold on for you specifically?
That was a hold on for me specifically.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Lulu?
Sorry. Yeah, I'll climb down.
Okay. Athletics check. Easy enough.
Another
Again,
natural 20.
love these natural 20s. Brrrr.
Do.
And a third natural 20 from Harry. So, yeah.
Most useless place for these rolls to happen.
Yeah.
We're really good at climbing down some chains.
So, the group
I
of you...
have to say, I was completely not paying attention because of work stuff, and all I know is after roll athletics, okay, 20, okay, I'm good.
So the group of you make it down the chains, and Sigurd follows after. And about the time Sigurd hits the ground is when Gwynferon hits the ground. And theoretically, Gashkar, if Gashkar was keeping pace, or if Gashkar just went ahead and landed.
And Gashkar already had been keeping pace, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my goodness.
Gwynferon hits the ground, begins making a snow angel. As Sigurd continues to drag the Frost Giant heads a little bit further into the depression. You find
What's the seasonal cycle like in Core? Did we get snow in Core during the winter?
Occasionally, not a lot of snow. Core is fairly Mediterranean, so it's sort of temperate year round.
I haven't done this since I was a child.
But there is snow in Core, just not often. It's one of those, like, every few years you'll get a big snowfall.
Yeah, never seen this much snow.
You're gonna get snow down your. It's gonna go straight down your neck. You know that, right? Just pass by.
As my druid friend says, do it for the creeping vine.
There aren't. There's no vines. I'm confused.
After walking just a few minutes more, Sigurd basically brings you all to a sort of what appears to have been at one point in time part of a cave tunnel that didn't collapse under the footprint. It's sort of in the middle of the foot, where sort of in the middle of the arch of where the footprint would be. There is what is now just an overhang that leads into a collapsed tunnel, but has some space for camping and things that will shield you mostly from the elements. Where he once there, he begins rolling the heads into a snowdrift and piling snow on them again.
I'll help him with that.
Which is the indication of, okay, this is where we're stopping for the night.
Sure.
So, you are now sort of in the arch of this Titan's, of what is apparently known as the Titan's Tread. And Gwyn is going to cast Tiny Hut or Shelter again.
See,
Yeah, he's ritually casting it. So,
Okay.
see, this having a wizard along is slowly growing on me. Just slowly. This is very nice.
we're very convenient.
Yes.
They are.
It would probably grow faster if he was using the mansion, but
True.
Can't ritual cast that one. Plus,
Okay.
yeah.
This is fine enough. At least it's warmer. It's warmer in here, which is really the important thing. I'm cold. Why is it so cold?
Welcome to a tundra.
Can we make a nature check so that Gwyn can scientifically tell her why it's so cold?
sure,
here?
give us a nature check.
19. Does he
Oh,
know?
God.
You know.
So, given that the material plane tends to exist on a spherical type iteration of the solid that forms the ground surface underneath us, once you get to higher coordinates closer to the poles, the angle of sunlight is distributed over a much greater area. That meaning that the incoming energy from solar insolation, as it's called, is less intense at these areas.
It was rhetorical question. It was a rhetorical question.
Lulu
Red
will
Fawn.
sort of offer Hope an extra.
Sun not strong, burr.
vote.
Thanks.
As interesting as all of this is, and it's not, can we get to casting? Because you know how this is coming up to all of your like knees and like, hi.
You're
on
taller
inside.
than me, you jerk.
I was speaking for both of us.
So, as Gwynfron finishes the ritual casting, the ground just outside the cave pops up into this dome. It looks kind of like an igloo right now, just because it's still covered in snow. And you can all pile into this small hut, which is comfortable on the inside.
What's
too
colder
hot.
than
Not
you know? What's worse than frozen toes? Frozen body parts that are higher than toes.
That would be pretty bad.
Yep, it's chilly out, that's for sure.
Meanwhile, outside, Sigurd makes a fire and heads out into the night, or into the evening, apparently, to do some hunting.
Yashkar steps into the
What are
hut.
we gonna do if he gets eaten by badgers?
It doesn't matter. He already pointed us in the way of the town.
Okay.
Kill the
And-
badgers, eat the badgers.
Absorb their power. Yes.
Yes. Actually, just eat the badgers, because from what I understand, badger meat is like really, really good, especially if you season it just right. But sure, that too.
I wouldn't know. I'm just anti-badger right now.
Anti-badger, right?
How are you
The
anti-badger and not wanting to eat badger?
How are you anti-badger right now?
Just recent. I mean, like generally they're fine if at a distance, if I don't have to be near them. But if
Or know they're near you.
yes, that too. That's the same way I feel about spiders.
Slight rumble in the ground.
What did the
What
bad
was-
badger do to you? Do you need to talk about it?
I
Badger
think we're not supposed to talk about it.
that might bring up some stuff, but the ground is shaking also.
There is a slight rumble in the ground that you all
What
notice.
was that?
What?
Oh god.
You may have angered the giant snow badgers.
What can I tell what it is as a
Sure, give me a nature check.
not a survival check?
Give me a survival check too.
I will roll nature and not survival, because my nature is a +2 and my survival is a
I
-4.
would like to survival
Well,
this.
my survival's a +10 and my
I'm
nature
just
is
gonna
a
roll
-1,
because I'm curious.
So 19.
I have a very consistent
I
nature.
got a
now.
19, 19,
Yeah, no.
24, 19, 3, and a 10. Everyone that rolled higher than a 12. So
I bet it's
everyone
Sigurd. He's
except
running.
except for Corbin and Hope. It sounds like something heavy hit the ground a distance away.
It's Sigurd.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, my feeling is that it's definitely worms because what created these tunnels in the first place? I'm just having
It's Sigurd.
flashbacks. It's good.
Sigurd created the tunnels in the first place.
Yes.
No, worms. Like cave worms. I'm just
Disappointing though. I was hoping for a Remoris.
Harry drops to her knees, grabs whatever is nearest to her on the ground. It literally doesn't matter what.
Okay.
Picks it up, sniffs it. Yeah, it tastes like something fell nearby.
oh my god. Okay. What did he okay.
Did you know that's a halfling thing?
Did you
can
strike?
do that?
Did you strike peppermint?
I don't understand that reference.
It's a reference to the old Rankin and Bass Christmas.
I haven't seen those in years.
There was the miner dude who always threw his pickaxe in the air and tried to find things.
Oh, right.
We need to go find him.
See, after seeing those for like 20 years straight, you kind of like, I'm done for the rest of my life with these.
So back in character, Hope has just said we need to go find him.
Find who?
Sigurd, if that was Sigurd who fell, I mean,
Sigurd.
he's kind of huge.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he's not gonna be hard to find. Come on, let's go.
All right. Also, Gwyn, no, I read about those. No.
I have an academic interest in a great many things. And besides, that was Eshkill who wanted to see one of those, primarily.
One of what?
No, Eshkill, then.
Remoraz.
Yeah, they're
Remoraz.
they're terrible.
Pronunciation changes depending where you're at.
It's a giant centipede that's
I want
on
to kill one
fire.
of those. Yes.
So you guys step
I'm
out of the
gonna find
hut.
one and kill it.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, outside.
You guys step out of the
Can
hut.
I track the
Give me a survival check.
cool?
Shit.
I
I'm gonna try.
actually, is Sigurd any of the things I get advantage on?
He
8.
is a humanoid.
Nope.
Yeah, no, 5.
Fucking
Great.
hell, 15. That's not great.
So none of you actually can see his tracks.
Right, because he has the boots of the Winterlands. He doesn't actually leave tracks in snow.
He does not leave tracks in the snow. So you're having a bit of a hard time trying to figure out which direction he went, basically, as you guys were sort of stepping inside the hut around the time that he left. But after a few moments, you hear this sort of dragging sound, this
Oh, he's already killed something and is bringing it
which then prompts you to sort of walk in a particular direction, and you see just slightly further away down the footprint from where you guys are is Sigurd dragging behind him what looks to be. It's hard to tell. You would say it's an elk of some kind, except that it's about 4 times the size of any other elk you've ever seen. And if it was an elk, it's like a 57-point elk, which is... There's too many horns. But he is just sort of dragging it behind him.
Hey guys, I found him.
Okay, he's alive. That's good. What?
Are you calm
That-
now?
That does not look normal.
Can we go back where it's warm?
Yes. Just don't like being out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing around.
That's
Fine.
adventuring.
Yeah. No, because we spent like a while adventuring in places with like cities where you could go and stay at an inn, and it was great.
We
And
went there
then
to kill
we-
people. There's a difference.
Yes.
It's not so much adventuring, I think.
No? What? No, it still counts.
What counts?
It's adventuring. Going and trying to stop a cult. It didn't go well, but
That was a
tried.
byproduct. We went there to kill someone.
Did you not stop the
Yeah.
cult?
No.
Probably not.
It went badly.
Did you kill the person?
Killed a lot of people.
Eventually.
Were they the right people?
No, we killed one person. Well, our cleric killed one person. And then we had to call on some other people, a wizard, to fix the situation because
Only
we
killed one person. I already saw your group electroshock the minds of some random.
Oh, this was the first time we went to a town to kill someone. There have been a couple times.
Yeah, there's been a couple towns.
Harry leans over to Lulu. Is like, I know I'm new to this group, but they're not the leaders, right? Because they don't seem to be very good at what they're doing.
They're good at killing things sometimes, but
But
I'm
not the right people. That's not that doesn't work like that.
No, I don't know. I said I'd help with context, but I don't have the context for this.
It's all right. It's all right. That's all right.
It's okay. Gwyn's
Sorry.
back in the hut by himself, so
Continue.
Gashkar heads back to the hut.
Head back to the hut because my
yeah, heading that
hair
way.
is
Yeah.
awful. and
You're all
full of
heading. You're all heading back to the hut,
We walked and talked.
having confirmed that Sigurd did not die or fall over.
Oh, good. Good.
Also, not offering to help him drag that heavy ass shit back to the camp.
He doesn't seem to be.
No,
having
he's
a
got
problem,
it.
so.
Yep, no, he's done.
He's got it. He's good.
After a while, the smell of cooking meat begins to waft into the hut. But you all return to the hut and have a conversation about a village in which your cleric accidentally killed a person.
Yeah, and then there
Accidentally
was
being.
yeah, it went badly. And then there was the time we went to a town to kill someone, and
Did Boldrin ever accidentally kill someone?
Yeah,
Yes.
remember the cursed town
yep,
Oh yes.
The
where
first
everything is
one.
fine.
Yeah.
Where everything
Yep.
is fine.
So,
it
is
was
there
terrible.
has there ever been a time when you killed someone that you were supposed to, or
Yes.
that you killed
Yes.
someone and it was good?
Yeah, I just realized we were talking about two separate things. So excuse me.
That doesn't make it better.
Wait, okay, so
The fact that you
Started
guys have
out-
enough of these issues
Yeah.
that you can accidentally confuse one for the other while speaking, granted vaguely.
Out of game, I thought they were talking about going to the sand pyramid to kill what's his face firefucker.
Corbin was talking
yeah.
about Kaylin.
Yeah.
The time we went to kill the shadow fucker in
no, the
Shar.
killing Kaylin, that went slightly better. I mean, there was
That
still
went according to a plan.
unplanned terrible murder that I yelled at, that I punched Celine in the face for. But this was like the first time. I went,
Gwen, does this shitstorm group of yours have a name? Not that I know of.
well, we were called the Welcome Wagon. I mean,
Wait a minute.
yes.
Continue. This is just so. Gwen,
Don't judge us.
you have summoning spells, right?
Some, yes. What?
Do you have a summon popcorn spell? Because this is ridiculous. This is my theater right here.
I'll have to research, but I'll get on that.
Thank you.
That would be create food and water.
Right, yeah. I figure.
Yeah.
The variation on create food and water, because that's unappetizing, but
Right. That's
You can just
bland
put
and
salt- yeah,
bland
that's
but
what
filling.
popcorn is.
Well, unsalted, unbuttered popcorn is an
okay,
appetizer.
Exactly.
you're not wrong.
Basically popcorn.
Basically popcorn.
Yep.
Actually, I have
No,
I always thought it was more of tofu.
wait a
Summon, create tofu.
Well,
Yeah.
for some people, tofu is delicious. It really depends on your taste, says the person casting
Some
it.
people are wrong. It's okay.
No, the first we were trying to stop a cult, and that went badly and did not. We tried, and then
I mean, we killed who was running the cult.
no, we didn't kill him.
Can you
So
give
who
us an
did the spell?
example of a time that you killed someone that went well?
Yeah, in the Sand City, Eleonora.
Not in the
I mean,
city.
we killed
no,
him.
No, no,
We
in
went
the
there
in
to
the
kill
capital.
him, and he is no longer alive. So we
Kaylin.
won.
Kaylin's dead. Yes, but Umbra is not, which still bothers me.
Oh, you've mentioned that one before.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't remember when. Definitely have mentioned that name before.
Trying to become a demigod person, and which involved
Say trying, I say succeeded.
Puny
Didn't make it
demigod.
all the way. Trying to become a demigod, which involved killing other people and consuming the pieces of Eidos that were stuck inside their souls.
And this dude is just wandering around.
No, he's stuck in some terrible, terrible place in the Nine Hells or whatever, wherever.
But you didn't do
Ow.
that.
What?
But you didn't do that.
I didn't do that. Well, no,
We
I
made
didn't
it
do that
happen.
part. So Selena did that.
That part.
So how is this a bad kill?
Because
He's not walking. I'm confused.
no, but
Is anybody else confused here?
I think they're saying he's reigning but stuck in hell while in charge.
Who needs a spell?
I could use something.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. starting with Gashkar then. Yes. So I've got the first, second. Well, I've got everything through 6th at the moment. 7th,
Okay.
excuse me. Everything through 7th at the moment.
Every spell in the world, really. That's amazing.
Well,
I
have options through 7th at the moment.
I'd like something big. I'm quite curious what it's like to be a powerful spellcaster.
Well, if you're wanting the 7th, we can either have you summon a rather impressive sword to assist you in battle, or you can make one of those magic houses for yourself.
I'm actually curious about both of those, but you know what? I've seen that the house is helpful, so I'll go with that one for now, but we'll go back to the sword at a later date.
All right. So he's
Sorry,
going to cast Magic Mansion into Gashkar's mark.
The mark begins glowing with a faint greenish.
All right. So I've got options through 6th.
I'm not sure what spell do I don't. Mine might be broken because nothing's happened.
What is?
Did you try to cast it?
I think I tried to cast in the fight, but nothing really happened. I don't know. I tried to make
Jeremy, I forget what I gave you.
You gave me Featherfall.
Oh, okay.
I tried to kill something with it, and nothing happened. Nobody died.
I didn't give you a killing type spell. Would you like a killing type spell?
Looks at axe. Looks at hand. Looks up. Nod, 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 nod. I would do it more vehemently, but the headset would fly off.
Right.
It's the like the cartoon like rattling noise nod. The
Right. All right. You're getting freezing sphere then, Harry.
Freezing sphere.
Yep.
What? Okay.
Let me give you.
I don't want to. You're the magic expert, but we're currently in an Arctic place. It is my experience that most creatures that live in extreme temperatures are fairly resistant to the temperatures in which they live.
That's fair. Well, here. How about this then?
Realizes that cold mage in an Arctic.
I am an ice mage in an Arctic environment. It's true. All right. Well, you know that thing where I vanished a bunch and then annihilated a whole bunch of things by hitting them very hard? How about that?
Invisibility? Hell yes.
No, it's not entire. It's similar. Basically, you'll be able to. Well, so you'll make a strike at a number of individuals.
Oh shit! That thing. Yes.
The
thing that he used to kill steal you twice.
Yes.
All right. So you're getting a steel wind. You're getting a steel wind strike.
Okay.
And that's somatic and material, so you don't even have to be able to talk.
Well, with the marks, you don't have to basically with the marks you've already cast them. They just unleash them.
Right. I've got 2 more of those. If anybody else wants one of those, that has an empty hand.
Could be. I mostly just want you to cast haste on me. So, feel free to.
I can cast haste into the mark, and then you can cast it on
don't do
yourself
that because I can't concentrate during a fight.
Right. Okay.
So,
but
you need something that's outside of combat, because casting
or something that doesn't require concentration.
Yeah, you can. I've discussed it previously, but I'll clarify again. You can unleash any spell from this, even when you're raging. You just can't. You just can't maintain concentration if you're raging.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
So, if it's like a lightning bolt, you can cast that while raging just fine. You just can't. If it's haste, you wouldn't be able to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
When it says melee spell attack, what's my spell casting ability?
Intelligence.
It'll be intelligence.
It'll be okay. No, that's fine.
Your intelligence is actually decent.
My intelligence isn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be.
That's why I'm not asking for clerical spells.
Yeah, it'll be a D20 plus. It'll be a D20 plus your intelligence plus your proficiency. So.
Okay.
Our Featherfall, which
5
is
times.
Five
Alright.
times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times.
All right. So Hope, you're getting a Steel Wind Strike as well then,
Okay. Cool.
because you have a melee weapon worth at least one silver piece. So
I really want to make a spellcaster that has access to that spell that has brass knuckles, so you can do Steel Wind
Right.
Strike with the knuckles. So you're literally just a DBC character. Just
Can I do this? Can I combine? Just random question. Could I combine this with my life stealing dagger?
it does not do the damage of the weapon, so it would not
Okay.
apply your life stealing dagger to it.
You could use the life-stealing dagger, but it
Darn
wouldn't
it.
do
Yeah,
the life-stealing.
the dagger's not what's applying the damage. The force of pressure from you punching the air next to them is what's applying the damage.
Okay.
That's why it's force damage and not
All
anything
right.
else.
is that everyone?
No, I still got an empty
Corbin.
spot.
Steel Wind Strike for you as well then?
If that's. Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
unless you want to throw an enormous ice grenade at things, but as we sort of discussed, might not find things super susceptible to that sort of thing. Hereabouts.
Steel Wind Strikes all around.
All right. Steel Wind
Yeah.
Strike for Corbin as well then.
Do you want to replace the one in Lulu's hand?
Lulu said she was fine.
I'm fine for. I can't take a spell that's a caster in combat because my intelligence is -1, so it would be basically useless. I need a utility spell.
Unless you have magic missile.
Okay, that would be an option, but I can also smash things much harder than magic missile can.
Hmm.
I would prefer a utility spell.
Well, as far as things I have that way, they're. How about flying?
Works better than falling.
All right.
Are you part barbarian or not?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Never mind. You'd be good.
I'm part werewolf,
Okay.
which has different
Okay. You
restrictions on casting, but
got it.
not. Most of my problem is that our spellcaster is an intelligence-based spellcaster, and my intelligence is not great.
All right. So when you unleash yours, Lulu, you'll be able to make 4 people total fly.
And
One of which can be you or any 4 people.
are you
Got it.
changing up what you've got stored in yours, Jack?
No. I'm keeping Arcane Sword in mind.
All right. So you have talked a little bit about adventures of the past. You've swapped out spells on your divinely granted mark that stores spells in it. All of you have little various color glows on your palms. Anything else before turning in?
I'll set up my tent inside the hut.
Good for now. Yes.
Is there enough room?
There's something I was
It's a
supposed
10-foot radius, so it's 20 foot diameter circle in all directions.
Yeah, you can
So-
set up a tent inside the hut if you so decide.
Corbin's double boxing.
Privacy.
So I may just not remember because it's been 2 weeks for me, or 3 weeks, something like that. I think there was something you wanted me to cast Grim Psychometry on, but I don't remember for sure. If no one else remembers this, I'm probably missing.
I don't remember.
I think there had been some talk about doing it on the beacon.
Right.
But I don't know if that's still a thing anyone wants to do.
That is up to other people because I
How
don't.
close are we to the town right now? Are we within a mile?
One more. No.
Dang it. Spell is stupid. Okay.
What spell are you trying to do?
Clairvoyance. You can only do it within a mile, and it's like this is very limiting.
It's
Like
great in urban environments.
Yeah, it's meant to be a spying tool.
I know, but we're not
On your upstairs neighbors.
We're in the random.
Yeah, it's not scrying, it's clairvoyance. There's a difference.
know.
It's less powerful because of that.
sad. I'm sad. All right.
Yeah, I kind of doubt that the beacon is evil or wicked. Though evil or wicked past could reveal some information about the demons. It's up to you guys.
I
Jack,
mean,
you're muted.
If Lulu brings it up, yeah, Gwyn will hand the beacon over to her.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm
Have a look.
make a wisdom ability check on that.
Okay.
nice.
Natural 20, so if there's something to learn, I hope
Yes.
No information.
Nice.
No information is revealed.
Harry is literally already asleep.
So Lulu, you spend a while. You spend 10 minutes meditating on the object, and no information comes.
So does that seem like no effect or just I didn't roll?
Your effect went off. It just feels like, from what you can tell, there's no dark history that this particular
So
item
it
has.
feels like it's more the
Yeah.
untouched by evil side than the you
Yeah.
didn't roll well enough. side.
Yes.
Cool. I don't know. Hands it back.
It's good to know that
Mystery.
apparently nothing's wrong, I assume.
Well, things can be wrong without being wicked or evil, but
Fair. Yeah.
not touched by evil, so the demons in the tower theoretically haven't corrupted it.
Excellent. That's very helpful information, I think.
I'm gonna sleep now.
Yes, I should do similar. Yes.
Hey, Corbin.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I may have changed my mind. I don't know.
In the amount of time it took you to say,
last
"Hey,
2
Corbin,"
seconds.
you changed your mind about whatever. it
No,
was.
no. Since the last time we talked,
Okay.
I don't
Oh.
know.
Oh. That was Jeremy. That was not Harry. Harry is unconscious. and
Harry has no
smart.
idea.
Okay. New things
Just-
thought about some things some more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody has reinforced that you are terrible at things and thus perhaps should not try to attain divinity.
No, that's not it.
Sorry. I'm talking.
I
Yeah.
don't know. This is.
What may have changed your mind?
I just trying to figure out who the gods are and what they're doing and why I don't know. Did I tell you that the what was his name? I want to say Dread Emperor. That's wrong. What is his name?
Got it.
The God
God
Emperor of Taram.
There we go. That's better. Wants me to break the beacon after we get all the pieces. And I'm not sure about
That deal.
yeah. So I've been trying to figure it out and figure out what's going on with all of this. Just vague gesture at the universe.
Yeah. That. I can't even begin to. The
And
decision.
then I realized that the connection's totally gone. And I don't think I won't get that back. Unless, I don't know. And I can't talk to Selena. I keep trying to talk to her. And she's not answering. Not like the I'm ignoring you not answering, but like no response.
hope she's fine or okay. But how are you? Are you using the beacon thing or?
No, I wasn't using the beacon for that. I went to a temple and got sending and then tried that. It didn't work. I tried again today. That's what I was doing this morning.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because she said, what'd she tell you? She was heading
She
off.
wanted to go and find the scales. I think she was going to do it anyway. I mean, she was
She was.
packing up to go to leave when I went to find her to talk to her about what the emperor had offered me and to see if we could figure out a plan. And she was already packing to go, which was a thing.
Yeah.
But she was going to go to the scales and before that, like, go and get some spells, basically, like items and things from core, because you can get pretty much. We got a lot of shops.
Yeah.
Get something from core to be able to, because my plan at the time, I have a lot of plans that just.
For some reason, at the mention of shops in the back of your head, Hope, there's a vague idea that there's somewhere you can get a beholder's eye.
Oh, huh. Anyway,
You know, for putting on salads and things.
I don't know, man. I rolled a natural 1 on my nature. Maybe I don't know what a beholder is. I'm slightly terrible at monsters.
You know it's called a
there's-
beholder's eye. You're not certain what it does.
I don't know. She was gonna go, and at the time, my plan was when we finished the beacon, I could teleport to, or she would open a gate. I think that was the plan, because we didn't have that item anymore. But I know that Staphylos had that thing that opened a gate, like in reality. And so I wanted to tell her at the time to open a gate to get us to the scales, and then I'd have like bargaining power, was basically my idea, because at the end of the day, I'm free from Laretha, but I'm still gonna die at some point, and I don't know what happens then for normal people.
Well, for what it's worth, most of the clerics that I've spoken with that have utilized it varies based on the individual, their personal beliefs, and
Do
and
you
that sort of-
not sleep? We were.
No, I
we
don't.
were- Oh
Yeah,
my
Yes!
I like tip my head up and look out of the tent.
god! Privacy tent. That's what this is for.
Also, I hadn't actually gone to
You should
sleep
stop
yet.
talking loud.
You speak very loud.
Damn it!
Lulu wakes up and
Next
sort of
time
is
I leave-
grabbing for her sword. Are we under attack?
No,
No!
fine.
Everything's fine.
You
Okay.
all at this point.
Night.
At this point, you all hear a rapid tapping on the outside of the dome.
Harry's
in.
up to her feet. I'll go check it out. I'm going outside.
Somebody left their phone on vibrate on the top of the dome.
You step outside, and sitting on top of the dome is what appears to be some form of woodpecker that has a note strapped to its leg. It's knocking on the dome.
I'll go
I'm
help
going
Harry
to
because
reach up,
use it.
take the note.
All right, you reach up and take the note. On the outside of it, it says "To Hope from Selena," and the woodpecker flies away.
Hold on.
What the heck?
Where's my wisdom say?
Yes.
This is beautiful.
Wow.
Okay, I go inside and I hand the note over instead of trying to read the note from the sorceress with a vendetta by myself just by flipping it open.
Way to be.
Open it up. Boom!
What?
It
Oh,
would be kind of funny.
Harry
if your
comes
own
in with the
character killed
cartoon
your
face,
character.
black hair blown back. Mail call.
So Harry comes back inside with a note, handing it and holding it out towards Hope.
oh,
A chick you keep talking about a lot.
yeah. Well, yeah. No, thanks. Was what? It was just the. Why doesn't she use sending? Okay, I open the note.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Ah, really? My goodness.
We literally just got done with Jeremy, the player of the character, talking
Yeah.
about how it probably explodes when you open it.
Yeah, no. Accurate to Selena's character.
My goodness. Okay.
Because
all
no,
right.
because here's why. She knows that Hope's gonna be fine no matter what.
Yeah.
Actually, since I haven't used my portents and I haven't finished my long rest, so I don't have my new ones yet. Hope, as you go to open it, Gwyn says, "Careful, and that's enough to get you a 17, whatever your dice read."
Oh, 17, and then that would be +9, so 26.
Okay, and you have evasion, don't you?
Yes.
So yeah, so you look over at Gwen as he says, "Careful that." You flip it open, and then instinctively reacting to what Gwen says, you just sort of turn it around as this eruption
Directly at Lulu.
as this eruption of fire just pours out and hits the ceiling.
Did it burn the tent up?
No, it did not burn the tent.
We're outside.
No, we're outside the tent because you all were
Eavesdropping.
eavesdropping. Yes.
You
Sleeping.
can't call it eavesdropping when we literally cannot help hearing what
You were asleep. You were supposed to be asleep.
Anyway,
Why?
I was asleep.
Okay.
I was
Anyway.
never asleep.
So
Don't sleep.
the letter has erupted in fire.
Yep. As you didn't want to put it out.
It's gone. Like it was just a gout of fire, and then you flip back over, and there's a letter inside this. There's a written
God
piece of parchment.
Damn it, Selena. What's it
What?
say?
So you pull it out, and it says, "Hi, Hope. Sorry if you're dead, but you know you gotta take precautions. Anyways." So you've probably been trying to reach me. That ain't gonna work. So I've got a lot of things I need to explain, and this can't be a very long letter for reasons. But long story short, found your scales, and there's a couple of problems. That aside, one of them is magic's kind of weird right now. Like weirder than it normally is for me, and you understand how weird that can be. So take that, dial it up a notch.
You're not using nearly enough profanity, John.
That's because this
I
was
have
written.
You think that stops her?
Anyway. So, problem A. You really don't understand how fucking big these scales are. You know how big the you remember that building in Core that has like that you went into and got fined, and then you had to pay another fine because you were bitching about the fine? It's about the size of that building as a whole. So gate's not gonna work. Trying to figure out if I can shrink it, but that may or may not work either.
I thought the plan was to gate me to the scales.
Sending doesn't seem to work in or out of this area. Gating in general hasn't been too great. Like, you should have seen what happened to one of the guys that I brought with me. Like, he's now 2 people, and that's just not in a good way either. Like imagine like chicken wishbone kind of 2
God.
people more than anything else.
Stop reading the letter for a minute.
Okay.
You need to have a moment. Okay. All right. I keep reading.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was kind of disgusting. You probably stopped reading the letter at that moment. Hopefully you continue on though.
I love Selena's idea of what a brief letter is.
Working on it. Probably won't be able to contact you outside of this. By the way, my bird friend's name is Henry. Hopefully you didn't eat him. If you did, you owe me a new bird. But he can find you when I need to get a message to you. So, yeah.
Harry was strongly considering.
Have fun. XXOO. Selena.
Damn it.
P.S. Fuck Corbin for me.
I
put
don't
the
know
letter down.
which way she meant that.
That was exactly why she said it. To make Hope wonder.
So you have this letter.
Yep.
And it's about 4 pages long.
Mm-hmm. I hold it. Cool. This is great. Did you see a bird, Harry?
Yeah. I was this close. I'm not saying that. Well, after I take a nap, I get hungry.
Don't eat the bird.
But it looked so good.
You have an entire dick that you can eat, like most of it. You can.
That's more of a delicacy.
No, you've got food. Leave the bird alone.
Mara literally just told Harry to eat a dick.
Yes.
Don't eat that wildlife. You've got a perfectly good dick roasted right over there.
You don't eat. No, that is not your main course. That is like the penis is garnished.
That's the aperitif, right?
The penis is garnished.
Do not eat the bird. If you eat the bird, I will aim the next letter at you.
That sounds like fun. Promise?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I didn't eat the bird. The bird already took off. I was saying I think it took off. Didn't it take off?
Yeah, it took off.
Yeah. I was saying I thought about it, but I didn't.
Good.
God,
Way to
nobody listens around here.
No, that's exercising restraint. It's good. Thank you for not eating a bird that you just saw out of the air when you have enough food. And listening into my conversations and everything else. All right,
What are you talking about? I don't listen in on any of your conversations.
Okay, you didn't. I'm projecting. I'm just annoyed at everyone, and I'm projecting. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I'm glad that you're self-aware enough to recognize that fact. Can I go to sleep now?
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Please do.
Harry goes back to sleep.
Aaron,
yes.
Aaron, you are muted. There we go.
Yeah, I am aware.
Okay.
Lulu, throughout this entire conversation, is very unsuccessfully trying to pretend that she is asleep until she actually just falls asleep from pretending.
Okay.
It's just popcorn sticking out of your bag. Sleeping bag.
Yeah, that too.
I do agree with Gwynferon that it's not really eavesdropping if you're too loud for us to not hear.
Fine.
I Hope's gonna talk in a whisper for the rest of time.
Yes. Just gonna stare out until people go to sleep.
You could always step outside,
It's cold out there.
So Hope will notice that Gwyn literally is just sitting cross-legged, eyes wide open, blinking very occasionally, staring straight at the tent.
Trancing at the tent.
God. Damn it.
Make a nature roll, Hope.
Okay.
You're good at those.
Elves are semi-aware.
Yeah,
21.
You understand, you know enough about elves that they don't actually sleep. They sort of enter into like a vague level of like like a vague level of unfocusedness for 8 hours equivalent to for 4 to 8 hours depending on how tired they are, where they sort of recharge themselves through the ambient energy of the world, but they don't actually sleep and they are constantly aware the whole time. So there's not really a time where you're going to be inside the thing where Gwen is also inside the thing where Gwen will be asleep or not conscious enough to hear you talking.
This explains a lot about him. Okay.
Yashkar, meanwhile, picks a comfortable spot next to Gwynferon to just lay down and actually go to sleep.
Yeah. Elves are weird like that. They don't actually sleep. They just sort of disassociate for 4 hours.
All
They
right.
just sort of zone out for
Yeah.
a bit.
Well, I got a letter from Selena. I waved the letter in Corbin's direction.
And do you want to talk about it here or in the tent?
No, outside. Let's do it outside.
Okay.
You guys step outside. Sigurd is there eating meat. He doesn't seem to care that you exist at the moment.
Okay. Well, he still exists, and that's bothering me right now. Can we go further into the tunnel away so that I'm out of earshot of people?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make real quick sure there's no critters nearby.
Give me a perception check.
Try and get out of earshot. You arrive in Wormshot.
So going into this tunnel actually looks fairly familiar to you.
Corbin and Hope were never seen again.
Like this tunnel, this tunnel reminds you of some tunnels you were in a long time ago underneath a dwarven mining. It doesn't seem like there's anything in it right now though. So there's that.
Okay. All right. Quiet conversation. No explosions. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully. All right. No, she wrote, and apparently magic is screwy around there, so it's plans shit, basically. And the scales are huge. So I don't think the Retha actually knows where they are still, because there's a Deva somewhere in another plane that is still trying to talk to me and does not realize it.
That the one that was in your head?
Yes. I think that's what's happening with them, is they're trying to talk and that the line's disconnected.
Okay. Wouldn't-
So
So,
now I'm yeah.
if you know where the scales are, well, you don't. Selena does.
Selena does, but I mean, apparently she killed some people again.
Fucking. Can she just like
Oh.
cool it for like?
I think that one was an
15
accident,
minutes.
It was
actually.
not what she said. She said the scales killed someone.
Specifically, she said
I
that a gate
interpreted-
spell killed someone. She
Yes.
didn't say that she cast the gate spell.
That's not what Hope told
No,
me.
but this is what I'm taking from this, is that Selena has killed another person.
I mean, that's not an unfair
Oh.
assumption.
Yes. No, she tried to do a spell and it backfired and someone got cut in half. So good job, Selena.
There is a distinct difference between accidentally killing someone with a spell gone awry and murder.
Yes, but both of them get, if you accidentally cast, a bunch of lightning at a guard, it still gets all of us arrested. So I'm still on the same.
I like that.
We're doing
I like
callback.
I like to think that Hope is having this argument with Selena in her head.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
At which point it comes, really? We're going all the way back to that again.
Yes.
And then it just-
Back to episode 1.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, good
Okay.
times.
But okay,
Anyway,
so
so I'm debating whether I should try and when we get back to core, I have an appointment technically at some point. I don't know what day, because I never asked. Just sort of walked off. I have an appointment
with
with
what?
the ebony judicator, the lady with the blindfold and the eyes glowing,
Okay.
creepy. I technically have an appointment with her at some point.
May have already passed.
It may have, but it was for a couple months away. And that was a couple months ago, so it's possible. I'm
Yeah,
not real good on
or
days.
It is the day of your appointment.
It was today. It was today.
Thanks. It might be. Anyway, so
You don't know. You never asked.
I did not. I have no clue, but I'm gonna. I might try
So if
because
she knows where they are, she knows where the scales are, then don't you know where to stay away from? For now.
well, yes, it's somewhere. Well, actually, Selena didn't tell me. But
Probably good.
exactly where it was. But I know it was the last time I felt them. It was somewhere. I think in the Feywood, kind of right
Okay.
on the edge.
Okay.
So that's where I think that's where they are, based on triangulation, and it doesn't seem like they can move because apparently they're fairly big. But nothing's attacked up there, so that's good. Yeah. And I don't know if it'd be a good idea if Laretha has them, but I might try.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's update on me. How are you?
Chilly.
It's
Little bit.
cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
All right.
Start.
We're fine here. Fine. We're
Yeah.
fine. How are you?
Yeah. You know, this is different.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah.
You like this though?
Yeah.
You like
It's
adventuring.
yeah, it's new. It's back in Core and River's End. That was like it. Now there's I don't know if I'm gonna see Core again. If I walked back, I never would.
No. Well, first off, I think we'd have to walk over water, and you're wonderful, but I don't think you can do that.
I could buy a magic ring that would let me do that though.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's true.
This is when Hope reveals that she's been to the edge of the world. Again, it's way further away now.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. Well,
Probably should have put the tent outside.
yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's start heading back.
Jesus Christ.
Corbin and Hope go into the
Yep.
nicely
Start
temperatured
unpacking.
thing.
Yep.
Pack
Yep.
their tent up, take it outside, back into the freezing cold, near the campfire that Sigurd has made. And put their tent back up outside.
As
And-
soon as they start breaking the tent down, Gwyn's like, "That's a terrible idea. You'll freeze to death out there. That tent is very poorly insulated."
We will not. There will be activity. It will be warm.
I I didn't need to know that.
Go to sleep.
Oh,
I'm trying.
you are wildly underestimating the ability of 2 humanoid bodies to lose heat when exposed to frigid temperatures. Not going to
Lulu
be.
is going to
pleasant.
wander over to Gwen and whisper to him, I understand that they'll start freezing, but they'll pass out and we can drive them back.
All right.
So, you all go to sleep for the evening. I need Hope and Corbin to make Constitution saving throws with disadvantage.
Okay.
I am, for the record, trusting Gwen to wake me up when they require rescuing.
That's a
nope.
5.
He'll give him 2 hours.
Let's see. Screw it. I'll use my Indomitable for the day.
I mean, you're getting rest anyways, so.
Yeah.
Did not work.
All right.
I like the idea though that they survived that, and that's not what they're making a Constitution saving throw for. They're making it because some unholy beast has come by and just decided to breathe a necrotic cloud.
Thanks.
I'll take no. Gwynfron, make me a perception check
Okay.
with disadvantage because you're trancing.
Fair enough. 14.
So, Gwen, you have every intention to go out and check on them after 2 hours, and then
Oh,
you
no.
realize 8 hours have passed. You're like, oh, I was too into that lucid dream. Forgot to go check on them. Anyways, Hope and Corbin, the two of you have. You wake, so you fall asleep, and it is freezing cold, and you're keeping each other warm enough that you can sleep. But in the night, you both take 19 points of damage that is permanently reduced from your maximum hit point total, as you wake up feeling not well, and noticing that sort of your fingertips and toes are a little more purplish or blue than they were previously.
Frostbite sucks.
Frostbite is the best. Put your extremities to the test.
At least you don't have any exhaustion. That would make it worse.
Honestly, Frostbite is one of the worst spells in the Frost Mage's rotation. I'll be honest.
No, you do not have any levels of exhaustion, but you do have Frostbite currently, which is reduced your maximum hit point total by 19.
Freezing.
well
Let's
as
go in.
Giving you damage. You sort of, as you crawl out of your tent in pain, you notice Sigurd is sort of just sleeping against this dead thing.
What
And
is up with him?
again, just occasionally steam just erupts off of his body.
Maybe we should have camped next to Sigurd.
I don't know. Tent's not that big. He looks comfy on the carcass.
Yeah.
So the two of you slip
bone.
back in. You have had a long rest. Everyone's had a long rest. As Hope and Corbin come stumbling back into the tiny hut, rubbing their hands together and shivering. Gwen,
Did you sleep out there?
It's at this point,
Yes.
Gwen, that you realize, oh yeah, I was gonna go check on them.
Just for a little bit.
What the fuck?
I tried to warn them.
There were too many people in here. You're all nosy.
No, you're just loud.
That's it.
I literally went
Call
to
me,
sleep
call me.
in like 20 seconds.
Not you. You're fine, Harry. Just collective you.
The collective you.
The collective you.
You feel like it's better
The
to
royal
take
you.
care of yourself by sleeping outside. You're grown adults, and there's nothing we can do to stop you.
But did you enjoy the experience?
Once in a lifetime.
Yep.
Yes.
Once in a
I mean-
lifetime frostbite.
There are absolutely things we can do. I just think that there's nothing that those who are awake wanted to do.
Your mouth says one thing, but your fingers say another.
That's all right.
Can I do a medicine check? See how badly they're frostbitten.
Sure.
Are they going to lose those fingers?
Sure, give me a medicine check.
Losing fingers is bad when you need to hold weapons.
They were not so exposed that they're in danger of losing the fingers, but they are going to have limited use of their hands until they recover. And it's just sort of, they've gotten to the point where the fingers are now getting blood back to them, and they're going to recover. It's just going to take a little while.
Pain begins in
She'll sort of
5,
look over.
4.
She's not trying to hurt, but she's not terribly gentle either. You're gonna be fine, even though if you do it again, you could lose access to your fingers altogether. Or watch out, it's gonna be harder to grip things. It's probably going to be painful for a little while at the very least.
And at roughly as Lulu ends the inspection, that's when feeling starts to return to your fingers and toes.
The itch.
You know that?
Hey,
Oh, it's just an understatement.
Have you ever fallen asleep on your arm and then you woke up and like your arm is entirely pinpricks?
Well, that's not it. No,
it's
no.
It's worse than that. It is worse than that.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten an extremity slammed in something and it doesn't feel anything for 5 minutes and then suddenly it does?
Yes.
That's
it's
more accurate,
closer to that, but it's internal.
Yeah.
It's that internal pain that
Yep.
like your arm waking up has.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say it's like
kids is why you don't bind with ace bandages.
I was going to say it's like suffering a second-degree burn, because that is essentially the thing that it is.
Yep.
So
yeah, the two of you are in pain.
See, if you just
That's a
slept
good
in
thing. It
here
means
next
you're
to the
feeling
giant
coming
Nick,
back.
you'd have been fine.
Shouldn't it be outside? It's gonna warm up.
Lulu will sort of whisper.
It's only a small portion of it. I cut a piece off to use as a pillow.
Sorry. Lulu was whispering something to someone.
Yeah, I was to Gwen. I thought we were gonna bring them back in.
I could tell you that I had a master plan in place where I felt that experience was the best teacher, but honestly, I kind of lost track of time.
Let me know in the future. I'll track time, but
Don't you deal?
you'll teach them never to do it again.
Meanwhile, over on the other side of the hood, see how spongy it is? It's a perfect pillow.
Jack,
I'm
you're
going
muted.
to murder you.
I feel like there's a Borderlands quote that really fits here somewhere.
So, you're all awake. You hear the sounds of Sigurd stirring outside.
Well, I suppose finding Snowdrift is the next item on the agenda.
Yes, let's get out of this frozen wasteland, please.
Are you two going to be all right leaving the hut and going back out in the freezing cold for the rest of the journey?
Yeah, it's not
Yes.
that bad.
Just let me know if I need to carry you.
Yeah,
Unfortunately-
we'll carry you if it comes to that.
Your head might hit the ground a couple of times because,
Yeah, right on your
shoulder
shoulders.
and but I'll do it. We good?
You could always ask Sigurd to carry you if you really needed.
We also could use ice pelt, but
Or Gashkar, who is stronger than Ice Pelt.
ice pelt could carry one. Gashkar, who's not a halfling, could also carry someone. Or we could punish them by having the halflings do the carrying.
I mean, it's true. It's true. So you all step outside. Sigurd has unburied the giant heads. He has his chain wrapped around his wrist. Ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
How
will ever
big
be.
is this town, Sigurd?
Snowdrift was put together by about 4 barbarian tribes that were wandering the tundra for many generations and decided to stake their claim on some land. So, 4 barbarian tribes big.
How about
Size
big
pretty
is a
big.
barbarian
All right.
tribe?
That's rude.
It's a barbarian tribe.
Let's see. The group of you
From a
would
city.
be the group of you would be
We'd be a raiding party.
not even that. The group of you would be a nursery. So it'd be like a lot more than you.
And
Makes up a
4 of
tribe.
those.
Side question: you wouldn't happen to have a magical cure for frostbite on you, would you?
No, it's never been a problem for me.
Not for me either, but I look over at Hope and Corbin.
I'm sure one of the medicine folk in town can help you out with that.
I mean, it's not a problem for anybody who doesn't sleep outside.
We had a magical cure for frostbite. We just didn't all choose to use it. But that's fine. That is a choice someone made.
A magical cure for frostbite. Staying indoors.
Choice was made,
Staying
and
in magic doors.
it was
Yeah,
made
we were indoors.
because
just
there
not
were
magic.
benefits to being outside and benefits to being inside.
Right.
But yeah,
We call it opportunity cost. Anyway,
So long as you keep moving, you should be fine.
Yeah, not too worried about it.
Stay behind the giant heads, and you won't be inside the snow, and that'll probably help.
I whispered to Harry, I'm super tempted to offer to spar with one of them. But I
I'm
think
super tempted to ride one of those giant heads.
that sounds like fun.
So Sigurd turns.
We're riding giant heads.
Hoists up the chain and starts walking as the two of you clamber up onto a giant head. And it doesn't seem like your weight has affected his pull at all.
Nope.
As
Nope.
he just starts walking.
My goodness.
I would
I'm
certainly
drafting.
So you start going uphill at this point because the just the way the footprint is angled. And so by the time you get to where the toes are, the steep like level of the indenture is actually not all that big. It's more of a slope. It seems like most of the whatever complex that the footprint crushed was around the heel. So by the time you get back up to the front of the feet, you don't even have to climb. You just sort of he just pulls the heads out of them and continues on. Hope and Corbin, your feet hurt a lot. And because they're getting all the feeling back in them and the blood's pumping, but you're moving, so it's coming back. It's gonna hurt probably the entire journey into town. But you guys begin walking. It's gonna take a couple more hours to get to town. If there's anything you guys intending to do on the journey there,
An eye out for Ramarazes.
give me a perception check.
Yeah. That seems like a thing to do.
Yeah.
I want to kill me a
15.
Watch
6.
out for beasts.
Ever since Gwen brought one up.
Um,
Ow, 11.
19.
I'm too busy being in pain.
None of you see any sign of any Rimmerad. Again, as you're traveling, it does seem you have a pretty open view of the surrounding areas, and you do see other creatures, including what seem to be some form of herd of that giant elk-like beast that Sigurd had hunted down, but they are far off in the distance and keeping their distance from where you guys are.
I say, Sigurd, what are those things called anyway?
Oh, he says something in giant. I don't know if any of you speak giant.
Nope.
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 let me check.
That is the one mountain language that I don't speak.
Nope.
He says something in giant, and then realizing that none of you are reacting to the word, he, in common, I guess the translation, Snowdrift King, I think, would be the common translation. It sort of loses something. They are omnivorous, basically giant elks or things. They eat anything that they can find. They store it for a long time, traveling from place to place along the tundra. Those horns are not for show. They can gore a giant with them. Um, they tend to stick with. They have sort of a herd mentality. They make good. They make very good eating, but it's kind of a dangerous prey to hunt. We tend to get only a couple of them. A couple of them will feed the village, though, for a while, so.
No. We'll steer clear then and follow you.
Yeah. Right. Well, you continue on. After a few hours, you find yourselves coming up to the town of Snowdrift. So the town of Snowdrift looks like it's made mostly of partially wood constructed and then fur lined or fur covered structures that are semi-stationary. It looks like they can be moved, but they're primarily where they are yurts, for lack of a better term. They look to be made out of the hide of those beasts that Sigurd had mentioned, as well as some of them seem to have a more scaled reptilian quality to them, maybe the skin of a remoraz or a dragon of some kind. You notice that some of them give off an inordinate amount of heat. There's plenty of snow all around the town, but a couple of them, particularly the ones that are made out of that more reptilian hide, just give off steam as the snow around them melts, and you can see the ground through the snow around them. And primarily, everything you see around here are these Goliaths like Sigurd, these massive individuals that are humanoid but 7, 8, 9 feet tall. As Sigurd drags in the heads, there's a group of people that sort of raise up a call and come over to him, talking very quickly in Giant at him as he converses back and forth with them before handing the chains off to a group of them. 4 or 5 of them grab the chains and begin dragging the heads away. Them dragging at slightly a slower pace than what Sigurd was dragging. Harry and Lulu, do you remain on the giant heads?
I leave.
No, I stay.
Okay.
All right.
It's too fun.
Harry, you continue to ride the giant head as it is dragged away. The rest of you.
Bye.
Sigurd turns around, looks at the group of you. Right, so
I'll come back.
we need a medicine person for you two, and you're looking for a guide.
Yes.
He points over at one of the scaled buildings. You'll find our medicine folk in there. And he says, then indicating back to Corbin and Hope, if you two want to head over that way. The rest of you can follow me. I'll take you over to the Hunter's Lodge. You can see about anybody see if anybody there can take you where you need to go.
Excellent.
Looks
Thank
over at the giant heads that are actually there. That's actually heading in the same direction, so you can just follow them. He says, pointing at the giant heads that are being dragged away with Harry on top.
We'll catch up with Harry then. Hope, Corbin, do you need anybody to go with you?
No, we're cool.
Do you need an adult?
Apt choice of words.
No, we're good. Thanks.
All right. We'll meet you afterwards then?
Yep.
If you guys need me, I'll be in town for another couple of days. Have fun. And
Thanks for bringing us over here.
no problem. And he says, smiling and hoisting the floating greatsword that sort of continually hovers behind him as he wanders off.
How do you think we get a sword like that?
You have to kill Sigurd, probably.
How very Dark Souls of you.
You can make me an Arcana check, Glenn, if you want.
Okay. If I want. Yes. 15.
It appears to be a flying greatsword, which is a particular enchantment that's actually not that complex to do. The sword itself seems to be of sort of supreme quality, so it's probably a +3 flying greatsword. But it is ultimately a flying greatsword, which isn't that complex to acquire. And it's basically that basically is just a sword that flies around you and can attack on its own without you having to wield it. Cool. All right, so you can go ahead.
Gwyn's going to head off towards the Hunter's Lodge, then following the heads, and try to catch up with Harry.
Okay.
Yes,
not hard to catch up.
Okay.
Yep.
Lulu following them.
Hunter's Lodge.
Hope and Corbin, are you guys going to the Hunter's Lodge or are you going over to the medicine tent?
Medicine.
Okay, so we'll start with Hope and Corbin. So you head over, and as soon as you're within about 10 feet of the tent, a wave of hot air just washes over you.
Okay.
It seems to be emanating from the scales on the building itself.
I don't know what these are made of, but this is wonderful. I do the blow where you put your hands in the blow dryer, just leave them there for a while.
Oh
I do
yeah,
that.
like your hands and feet still hurt, but the warmth makes it feel really good. So you got this combination pain and pleasure going on right now. This is how some kinks get started. Anyways,
I'm glad you made the joke, not me.
So you guys move up, and the door itself is not made of the same material. And so you reach up and sort of grab the handle, and it's warm, but it doesn't burn. And you push it open, and inside you find yourself facing sort of racks and rows of bottles with alchemical solutions and liquids in them all over the place. Some herbs and spices hanging out of baskets around the place, and sort of across the way there is a bed. There's sort of a cot that somebody is laying on, and there is this large female-looking Goliath standing over the prone person, saying something in giant, and you can see she's holding this Goliath's arm and shoulder in such a way, says something in giant, and then you hear a scream and a cracking sound as the arm goes and the Goliath on the cot just screams in pain. At which point the one standing says something else, pats the shoulder, which elicits another yelp, and then begins bandaging it.
I
Ow.
think we're at the right place.
Yeah. All right.
Is there anybody else, or is it just
the two of them right now? The woman looks over her shoulder, and it says something in giant as well before turning back to the person.
I reply in Dwarvish. I just say, "Can you help us?"
The Goliath stops what she's doing for a second, looks over and says something in giant, looking fairly confused.
I don't think she understands you.
I don't think so either.
Hi, can you help us?
Is that in common?
Yes.
Yes, give me a minute.
Thanks.
Finishes bandaging up. The other one looks like a fairly young Goliath from what you can tell, just from having seen Sigurd and the people that came out to meet him, and then now her. This one looks, if you were to gauge based on Sigurd at the very least, this one looks like they might be late teens. Still 7 feet tall, but has this sort of baby face, no beard or anything for them. Says something in back and forth in giant, and then the person who's now now their entire shoulder, basically down from the elbow up, is bandaged and braced, sort of holding their left arm, looks at you, nods, and heads out the door. She then turns around, reaches over, grabs a stool, pulls it over, sits down. So how can I help you?
We got frostbite.
Apparently, it's a little chilly last night, and we were pointed in your direction for a remedy.
She sort of indicates for you both to walk over.
All right.
motion Hope forward first.
Okay. Yeah.
She looks out. She sort of reaches out and very delicately, for a woman whose hands are this large, sort of takes you by the wrist and inspects your hand, touching it enough that it does hurt because she has to, but not like roughhousing your hands or anything.
Okay.
Looking at it. Yes, I do have something that can help. Hold still. She reaches over and pulls over a jar. Inside of it seems to be some sort of leather compress that's being soaked. Opens the jar up, pulls out what looked to be of a similar but not quite the same reptilian material as the outside of the building is constructed with. Pulls your hand out and wraps it in this material. It's sort of this weird viscous goo that sort of slathers over your fingers like a bandage. But after a few moments, the goo sort of dries into your skin, and there is this intense warmth that just spreads through your hand and fingers, and you sort of feel that pain, that pins and needles pain receding as you sort of flex your fingers. And flexing your fingers still hurts, but it doesn't hurt just existing anymore. Your maximum hit points are returned to normal, but you still are down the 19 hit points.
Okay.
She then sort of moves you over so you sit down on the cot next to her. Process with your other hand and your feet.
Okay, that's nice.
And as she does, she just sort of comments, "This is a compress made from Remora's skin, flesh, and a little bit of heating oil. Once the oil soaks into your skin, the heat from the Remora's flesh will provide a little bit more of a resilience to the cold. Combining the two together will help your fingers and toes heal faster. It'll still hurt for a while, but by the time you rest tonight, you should be fine."
Thanks. That's yeah.
And she pulls over Corbin, sets him down, and does the same thing to his hands and feet.
Before she does, I'll ask her how much we owe her.
She sort of looks at you weird. You're not from Eisenfeld.
Was it the frostbite that gave it away?
Surprisingly enough, there are plenty of people who... there are plenty of people, even who are from Eisenfeld, that get frostbitten. No, you don't have to worry about paying.
That's new.
This is You were sent here by someone, I'm assuming. You didn't find your way here.
Sigurd.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way... Wander around town, and you may understand how things work here.
But can we buy stuff here? Like supplies?
Or barter.
Barter, yes. Bartering you can do.
All right. This is weird. Okay.
Well, if you need any more help, please feel free to come and guard. She says as she pats the compress in and helps you stand up.
Thank you. Okay. If there's anything we can do as well, I don't know how long. We might just be staying the night, but
Wander town.
Okay. This is odd. Okay, let's go. Corbin.
Yeah, as we're leaving, we've been through weirder. This is a nice weird, not bad weird.
I'm still feeling I'm just paranoid all the time at this point, and
I know.
Okay.
It'll be all right.
All right.
So,
Cool.
You leave Gerd's medicine shack, and find yourselves outside. Meanwhile, the others. So, Harry, you're riding the giant head still.
Yep.
And the others sort of catch up to you at roughly the time that it takes for them to drag you over to what looks to be a giant longhouse. This, as opposed to everything else here that's constructed of mostly hide and wood, this one is wood and stone. This one is a far more permanent structure than anything else here. And it's a longhouse. It's longer than any other building here, slightly wider as well. Two large, massive wooden doors out front. There are a variety of things perched along at various places on top of it.
Looks like an upturned boat.
Kind of, but more constructed than a boat.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
There are various large birds perched all along the upper outside roof extensions of the place. There looks to be places that are alive. They're sitting.
Okay.
Some of them several of them look like giant ravens. Some of them look like giant owls. They're sort of perched on these protrusions that seem to have been designed for birds to perch on.
I didn't eat the last bird I saw.
Oh my goodness.
These look like
There's a sign, take your pick.
While you are Harry, these birds look large enough to eat you.
So at least it'll be a competition.
How? Why would you? That practically ensures.
No, I know. I'm just saying. That's why I said while you are Harry.
I'm not yet, but I feel like having roasted owl tonight.
The door.
As soon as we get up to the door, Gwyn's casting tongues on himself.
Okay, the doors open up. Tongues let you understand other languages as well, right?
And speak, speak and understand both.
Yeah. As they open the door, you begin to be assailed by comments in Giant, which, now that you have tongues on, you can understand, Gwen. Mostly, there seems to be people, celebrating the fact that these giants have been dealt with, commenting that it's a good thing they sent Sigurd, otherwise they might also be dragging back bodies of their warriors as well. General, sort of celebratory uproar happening as the giant heads are being dragged around the tables and back towards the back end.
Hey, how are you? Hi, how you doing? In succession, as I'm getting carried along. Hey, how's it going? Hey,
and there are quite a few people that are offering high fives and handshakes as you're riding. They don't seem to care that you're riding on them.
Woohoo!
This is
Whole time screaming, I did this.
This is Marduk territory.
Yeah. So, what are the rest of you doing while Harry is riding these heads to the back?
Gwyn is going to step in, put his hands on his hips, just sort of survey the room, realizing that he's a good probably 2 to 3 feet shorter than most of the people in here, but still.
Definitively, yes.
Right. And then he wants to try and eyeball who is the best candidate for, you look like a guide who wants to help out some people find a thing that might be dangerous.
Give me a insight check.
As this is happening, Lulu will say to Gashkar, I understand that the city is a city, but are we sure that we should have left those two to their own devices here?
If I understand,
we're going to change that to a 19.
If I understand this place as well as I understand places back home, they'll be fine.
So it's is that a 19 total or a 19 that you're changing the roll to?
19 total.
Okay.
So change that 10 to a 15.
Okay. So, with a 19, you look around and there's a variety of uproar going on. There's one person at the far back that seems to be sort of directing the people dragging the giants' heads. It's a Goliath with a fairly long and braided beard and hair that's sort of swept back, that drops down his back but is tied tied up in a ponytail that is also braided to keep it out of his face and everything, who is wearing what you surmise to be a Remoraz scale cloak, and holding some sort of large bone bow, sort of leaning on it with a quiver of arrows on his side, who looks to be some sort of hunter in charge. While you can't really ascertain who might be more inclined to help you out, you can certainly determine that this person would be the one to dictate who could help you out.
Okay.
He just sort of seems to be in charge of the lodge.
Has Gwyn ever read anything about social patterns of the Eisenfeld barbarian tribes?
Be a history roll.
Even Eisenfeld just existed like a week ago.
Went to a library.
So
Fair.
you know you've never read anything about Eisenfeld, but for some reason you have memory of reading something about Eisenfeld.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Because this world works in weird ways. It seems that you recall that the barbarian tribes specifically have very much sort of a meritocracy sort of society, where those who can do, and are rewarded as such. So they don't really they do an amount of bartering with outsiders, but primarily the way you get favors is by doing favors. And it seems that, you guys came in with Sigurd, who, that may be enough clout to get help, depending on Sigurd's station in the area. You might be able to offer assistance with something and in return get what you're looking for. It might be a thing where you could ask for it, and then other people will be willing to do a thing for you in order to gain socially in return. So it's entirely possible that you can find somebody who will just help you out, because helping you out will help them socially in town.
Okay. So Gwyn will kind of nudge Gashkar and Lulu a little bit. There's the man we need to talk to.
Okay.
They may require us to prove ourselves. They may be willing to help in order for help in return. I can talk to them, but I think going up as a group might be our best option.
Sounds fine to me.
I
Harry!
think fun, but these
Yeah. Gotta go. My people need me, folks. I'll be back.
So Harry hops off the giant head and trots over to you.
I can hunt, but they're probably quite capable of that stuff. I also have some ability to curses, dark objects, stuff like that, which is a little rare.
That's good, I think. Harry, we need to, see the tall gentleman with the rather impressive archery equipment. He's the...
Wait, are you talking about the one that you're referring to, impressive archery equipment, as a euphemism, or the one that's actually...
No, the one with the really big bone bow over there.
I feel like I need
I'm
to repeat the
speaking
question.
literally. I'm speaking
Okay.
literally, not... Yes, this is not an illustrative... No. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think you have much room to talk about figuratively. You've been literally eating a giant dick all week.
Correct.
Be that as it may, we are probably going to have to at least make an effort to prove ourselves or establish that we are the sort of people who can be helpful in a wide variety of situations, and therefore it might be in somebody's best interest to also help us with what we need.
So we need to kill something.
Well, maybe, or I don't have firsthand experience.
They're going to ask a favor for a favor. That'll either be a test of strength to prove yourself as a warrior, or they might need some help building some new structures.
What Gashkar said.
We're not really good for much else, collectively.
I mean, we're very good at killing things. And given about 15 minutes of preparation, not one of these people could grapple me. So,
That's a lot of.
They're not going to give you 15 minutes of preparation.
no, they're
Somebody's
not.
going to try to grapple you. They're not going to give you 15 minutes to get ready.
No, they're
Here's
not.
how it'll go. They won't have a chance to grapple you because we'll be grappling them.
And anyway, but we should go, like,
Look,
make an
I'm
impression.
good, but I don't think I can grapple one of them.
Gwen, come on, let's go. Oh, I could throw some of these people across rooms, but
All right,
none of them
great.
are Sigurd.
I could castrate them.
How many dicks does one girl need, honestly, in a collection?
That's a loaded question.
Then
But
we won't
I'm
talk
only
about it.
continuing with that at this point because it keeps weirding people out, and I think that's funny.
That's very fair. All right.
Also,
well.
the answer to that question, by the way, is how many can one have?
Yes.
Look, I came from a small clan of entirely unrelated people. I know not to ask these things.
All right. Well, let's go talk to the gentleman in authority real quick.
You need to use simpler language, Gwen.
I'm planning on it. Actually, I might honestly let Eshkill drive on this one. And hey, let's go talk to these bastards.
Don't do that. Oh.
So you approach the giant Goliath with the scale cloak and bow, who turns and looks down, sits back in a chair, leans on the bow.
You couldn't have done that to me. Okay.
Can I help you? In common.
Probably. We're going to need a guide. There's a artifact hidden in a cave somewhere near the border of the Feywood, and we were hoping to have someone guide us there.
Looking for a guide, huh? None of you are native to these lands, are you?
No, we arrived and very swiftly got into a scuff helping Sigurd handle those giants, and then shortly ended up here.
Friends of Sigurd, then. Well, that's not a bad position to be in. You're speaking to Volundeer. And you are?
Gashkar Stormcaller, this is Gwynferon and Lulu. And Harry, you have a last name, I don't know it.
Just Harry's fine.
Well,
Harriet, if you want to be formal, but please don't be formal.
we don't have very many people here who are.
Awesome.
And he said, yeah, Volunteer.
What was that?
I was confirming Volunteer.
Yeah, Volundeer. Volundeer. Well, depending on how far out it is, you said you're going to the border of the Feywood.
You know the exact location or the general location, Gwyn?
And Gwyn will give a rough description of the cave itself. You know, icy, close to the border of the Feywood, the few landmarks that were noted when he made contact other plane, that sort of thing.
We do have a huntress that frequents that edge of the Isenfell. She actually has just recently come back from a hunt. Potentially, you could convince her to take you out there, but that would be between the two of you.
You could point us in her direction.
Yes.
Hey, what's her name then?
You're looking for... Sorry. You're looking for Svanhilda. She is probably around the battle arena. She likes to test her mettle in combat whenever she gets back in town. Fairly tall, he says, and then thinks about that statement for a second. Stands up and holds up a hand to his height. Roughly the same height as I am. Black hair, long, tied in a braid. She wields the bow of a... And he says a word in giant, which, for the one of you that understands giant, translates to dragon's wing. So she wields the bow of a dragon's wing, which would indicate to you a bow made from a dragon's wing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which should make her fairly easy to spot, if you're looking.
Right.
Sounds like a capable warrior, then.
She is.
We'll go take a look.
As to what sort of price she might ask, that's something that the group of you can work out with her.
Fair enough.
If you're still here this evening, please feel free to join us for the feast tonight in celebration for the dead giants that have been brought in.
We appreciate the invitation, Volunteer. Let's...
What's on the menu?
Giants, as well as other things.
Awesome.
Let's go find Svanhilda first.
All right.
Gwyn's going to lag slightly behind.
Okay.
Brief question before I leave, Volunteer. What's with the big birds on the edge of the feast hall here?
Well, they are our companions. Many a hunter uses a raven or an owl for their assistance in the hunt. And as such, the lodge itself is a place of sanctuary for those birds.
Are those, does each hunter tame and befriend their own, or do you have a group who assigns those out to those what need them?
Each hunter tames their own.
Fascinating tradition. I'm very impressed by your people's adherence to harmony with the land around here.
We do our best.
Well, I've much to learn from you, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity.
He nods, reaches down to his belt, pulls out a horn that is stoppered with something. Well then, if you're interested, again, visit us for the feast. I'm sure there are many who would regale you with stories of their own personal glory.
We'll be in attendance. Trails blessings to you. And I'll turn and leave.
He raises the horn, and the group of you step out of the hunter's lodge.
I follow the sounds of people punching each other to the fighting arena.
Will do. Meanwhile, Hope and Corbin. So you guys have just stepped out of the medicine hut. Where are you heading to next?
The building that he said that everybody was going to be at.
Oh, wait. Corbin.
Yeah. Or did we forget something?
Possibly. Remember how we were asking back in, I don't know, 2 towns ago, whatever, right when we were leaving the Eleonora, about giant strength belts. Do you think, because there's lots of giants around, do you think maybe they'd have some here? I don't understand this no money thing, but we can maybe see if they have any.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not
literally the place where they least need belts of giants.
Listen, I'm trying to find things.
Give me an investigation roll and an insight roll, both of you.
Okay.
I have shit.
Let's not have disadvantage anymore.
9.
26 and
And an insight roll.
17.
26.
All right. So, Corbin.
Hope finds the person. Corbin figures out what they're looking for.
Corbin.
Yeah.
You don't see shit. Mostly what you see, like you guys start wandering around the town, and you see lots of Goliaths meandering around, talking amongst each other. However, what you do notice is that because you're slightly confused with this concept of not having to pay for things and trying and thinking about what Gerd said regarding wandering the town. And as you're sort of looking around and watching, you notice that a lot of people seem to be having interactions in which they will simply walk up, say something that seems like it might be a greeting, reach over, grab a thing, and walk off. Like nothing is getting transacted. Nothing is getting handed off. And as you think about it and sort of observe it, it seems that everybody knows everyone else. And assumedly, there is some system in place where, because they know everyone else, they either have already done something to pay for a thing, or have some sort of standing interaction where, if I come over for bread, then I'm entitled to this much bread because I've done this thing in the past. Something along that line. Seems to be some sort of maybe barter system, maybe something else. You're
Like
not-
an honor system.
Yeah, some sort of honor system based around their reputation in the town. Like your social standing entitles you to so and so. And thinking about that, it may just be that everyone is entitled to medical care. That's a basic, because even if you haven't done anything honorable or glorious, you still deserve to have a chance to do something honorable and glorious, so you get medical treatment when you need it.
Hashtag everywhere but America.
But is it a single payer system?
It is a
Nobody pays.
no payer system.
And because the medicine woman is vital to everyone getting to do the honorable deeds, the medicine woman gets whatever she needs to keep living, basically.
Basically, yeah. So, like, thinking about the system like that, she doesn't need money or bartering. She doesn't need shit, because she provides a vital service to the entire place. So if she comes out needing food, she just takes the food she needs. So it seems like if you were to get something like a belt of giant strength, there would have to be some form of compensation. It just wouldn't be monetary.
Yeah.
Hope, looking around, you sort of get that similar sense from just looking at the interactions that you're seeing. You also notice that there are several people that have items that seem to be of a superior quality, of some sort of magical quality and things like that. Several of them have belts that have giant runes etched into them, which may or may not be the kind of thing you're looking for. You do notice that several of them are heading to and from what seems like some sort of gladiatorial arena.
Okay. Maybe. All right. There's some people. Maybe if we can go that way and see if someone's handing them out, or
Yeah.
just listen. The rogue is going to steal from the.
And
Nonsense.
that's how two members of the party got arrested or got pressed into slavery.
Arrested, you dead again in one of their cases.
So, the group of you
Go that way.
actually convene around the battle arena, like sort of almost at the same time. The group of you sort of meet up, and as you're coming up to this sort of overhang that looks out, you see this large dirt pit that's been dug out, with spiked wooden palisades surrounding it, and sort of in this ditch, so you can't get out without climbing, so you can't run away from a fight, basically. And there are people around it sort of calling out cheers and giant and talking. And in the arena, you see this large 7.5 foot tall woman wearing what looks to be the wolf hide, beating the shit out of a guy with a large belt that has these, that you've seen, Hope, these sort of giant runes on it. And she basically has him, he's wearing a harness, and she has him up by the harness, and is just pounding him in the face, to the cheers of the audience. And after a few more punches, lets go, and he hits the ground. And as the people cheer, she reaches down, pulls the belt off of him, raises it up to more cheers, and then straps it on herself.
Okay.
So you see him. The idea that you're getting, Hope, is that if you want something like that, you might have to fight for it.
Okay. Corbin, got this.
Way ahead of you.
Yep. Hi everyone.
Yeah, hey guys, what are you guys
The others
Hey.
of you, you see the person who was described to you as Von Hilder beating the shit out of a guy in an arena.
All right.
Yeah.
I like where this is
I
going.
want to be where that is.
I think there's several of us that do.
Okay, well.
She sort of moves away, moves over to one side, grabs a bow that's been hanging against a wall, puts it on, and climbs out of the arena as several people sort of climb down to pick and drag the unconscious guy out.
Well,
If it's all the same to y'all, I'd say y'all can head in for whatever fisticuffs and extravaganza you choose to get yourselves involved in, and I'll go speak to the lady.
I was going to go do that as well. So
Oh no, let's fight.
Okay. Who are you fighting?
No one, just in I just want to fight something. Just
Do you say that out
I
loud?
punch Hope in the face.
yes. Ah!
Oh, that's good.
Give me an attack roll.
Shouldn't you get permission to use the arena?
I mean, technically, we were just fighting in the crowd right now.
Yes, you're
It's a
starting a riot.
Yep.
You
You can try and attack me. Go for it.
Oh,
times
it's fine.
I love anarchy. Whack.
It will be using your strength, Harry. So it'll be
I think that's bullshit because I'm a battle master fighter, and it would make sense that I would be able, but that's fine.
But you're not
yes,
a monk.
but mechanically, unless you have martial arts or a similar thing, you use strength to punch people.
Yeah, I think that's dumb.
Does a 13 hit you, Hope?
Nope. 16.
I have
armor
3
class.
attacks in a round.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's it.
win.
I get to
Alright.
fight the winner.
What's your strength score?
8. You cannot do 0 damage.
No, you can't. So you take
No.
2 points of damage.
Okay. Ow.
And 14.
Nope.
So Harry leaps up, bah, 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 and two of them hit your armor, but one cold cocks you across the chin.
Ah! Fuck.
Take 2 points of damage.
Yeah. Oh no. Listen.
Feel better?
I want to punch you. We'll finish with this, and then I'm going to punch you. Just.
You said you wanted to fight someone.
Yep. Yeah. I feel like maybe we should save it because she was hitting really hard. But yes, I'm going to punch you. Do you want me to punch you now? Because I can do that.
Oh, well, you can try.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for
Yes,
it.
give me a strength. Give me
I would like to.
a strength-based attack.
So,
Okay.
wait, I am going to use.
Oh no.
You can use your if you had wanted to. By the way, you can use your combat maneuvers on an unarmed strike.
I'm aware. I am going to use
Now I have to get my.
Yep.
my-
evasive footwork.
Oh God. What's that mean?
That expends a superiority die, and my armor class goes up by 8.
nice.
Hot damn. There you go.
All right.
So give me
All right.
Give me a strength-based attack roll. That's a D20 plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency.
Actually, I
bonus.
have an unarmed attack because I'm a monk.
Oh yeah, you're a monk. You have martial arts. That's
I
right.
do.
You can use your dex.
I have one. All right. So.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That was not the correct one, because that is only when I am moving.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I am going to use my reaction to parry that.
Okay. Well,
You only,
let's see.
I think you only parry when you get hit. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if you miss a lot, then I will use that superiority die for something else.
okay.
All right, I'm gonna reckless attack. Let's do this. So advantage on the first one.
Okay. So you actually did 4.
Yeah, that's
that's
Gashkar.
That's
Gashkar.
Gashkar. This is
Wait,
not-
no,
that's
that
not
was
me.
that was me testing my it.
Don't randomly roll dice. I marked
Natural
it
20.
down.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, natural 20. We'll hit.
Yep. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Now, were you wanting to use dex instead of strength for your martial arts?
did it
Because you
use
have strength. You have strength on both of those.
Oh, yeah, it would be strength because my strength's actually higher than my dex.
Okay, there you go. Then it doesn't matter.
Because I am a strength-based rogue.
Strength-based rogue.
All right,
Yes.
so you do. Why is it 2d4?
Because
Oh wait, no, that's right, because it was a crit. Duh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so you do 4 or 5. You do 6 points of damage to Harry.
Yep. Second attack and then
Which
bonus
my-
action attack.
Which my parry knocked down to 8 or to
Okay.
nothing.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna punch you again.
Mm-hmm.
This is I only do on the first one. So that's a 28.
It's a hit.
If you're reckless attacking, then it applies to everything.
Reckless attack says it's only for the first attack on your
when you
turn.
make the first
When-
attack,
yeah,
you decide.
you activate it on your first attack,
Got it. Okay,
and then
I'll roll
it
that again.
goes
just in
until
case
your
it's
next
a
turn.
Crit. Just in case it's a crit. Nope.
It was not.
Nope. Oh.
So 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mhm.
All right.
Again, roll a 1
And
on the
then-
damage,
26.
Yep.
and another
4
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
So you parry the first one, taking no damage, and then 2 more sock you in the face.
And she grins.
We're just doing this on a street corner.
It's just out next
Yes,
to the
they
just
are.
next to the arena. Several,
Yep.
This is literally a street brawl.
several members of the crowd have turned and started cheering at the people punching each other.
All right, that felt good. That was good.
I really want to fight the winner.
Good. I'm glad it felt good. Can I use my axe only non-lethally?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with the flat of the axe.
Oh my god.
What did you say,
You
William?
used reckless attack, didn't you?
I
yeah,
did.
which means you have advantage on your attacks.
Sweet.
Mhm. Go for it.
23,
Yeah, that hits.
30,
Yep.
and 28.
Yes, they all hit.
So you take 36 points of damage as
Okay.
Harry
Whack! Whack!
basically Harry holds up the axe, throws it into the air, catches it so that her hand is by the blade, is sort of like in the shadow of the blade, and then with the pommel of the axe, just smacks you 3 times with it.
Ow!
Wait, are we not doing this?
Ow!
I like the idea that Gashkar and Gwyn are just kind of walking away, having idle conversation. So,
Right.
so if she needs us to challenge her, do you think, like a fight, you think I should probably just go ahead and face her, and the two of them are just pummeling each other?
Well, I mean, you can challenge her if you want, but I'd be kind of interested to see what my new flesh coat can do up against a warrior of her caliber. But no,
Don't
you're
call Gwyn
probably the best. Fair enough. Yeah, no, you. I mean, I'd like to try at some point, but yeah, no, Eshkill's right. You're probably the better choice if she does want a toe-to-toe face-off.
Meanwhile, Hope, are you
Are
punching
we
again?
not doing this?
I
Because
don't know. I'm gonna.
if you
I'm
want,
gonna make
if
it.
you want
I'm
to
gonna
tap
do
out now, feel free.
Fuck no!
Hey!
God! I'm gonna rage.
Okay, Hope rages.
Corbin's putting gloves
Alright.
on. He's just gonna officiate this MMA match real quick.
God damn
No,
it.
this is not an MMA match.
You're letting
This
them
is-
handle this.
This is a hardcore ECW style match.
Yeah, the Marquis of Queensberry is nowhere within a country fucking mile of this place.
All right. Yeah.
Let's be
uh-huh.
clear. This is a LimeWire bum fight.
Let's do this. Oh, I should have done that. Oh well.
All right, so
This is half a step up from two guys with a rebar in a parking lot.
I knew I should have action searched them
So-
before you raged.
Hope rages.
Well,
I
we're in the
rage,
parking lot
and
of
then
a
I'm
fight
going
arena.
to attack twice with the dagger. I'm not holding back.
Are you attacking
Fuck it. Let's do
lethally
it.
or non-lethally?
Lethally.
Okay.
Oh, we're going there, are we?
Yes. I don't like
Don't worry, I'm
Fuck.
technically a medic.
punch me in
Yes,
the
you
face.
are.
Yeah.
Thank God you're
I'm
there,
gonna attack recklessly again.
I
Okay.
Hope to not understand how a sparring match goes.
No. All right. And then I don't get that. All right. 22.
Yep.
And crit.
Yep.
So this one, I didn't add my rage to this one.
And so it's
but
what's your
there
rage
would be-
damage?
It's 3
Two?
rage damage right
Three?
now. So there's
Okay.
3 added onto these.
Okay.
So that's
Oh,
7 piercing, 3 rage.
You did add your rage to it.
Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. I wasn't sure which one I had.
10, 21, 24. Okay.
Sneak attack at all?
Yep. Yeah, because I had advantage.
Yeah,
you did.
have advantage, so you do get
Did,
sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
And the
is...
sneak attack damage also heals you because it's part of the dagger's attack.
Sweet. Yeah. So that's what was the total on that?
10, 21, 24, 36.
36. Okay. I'm back
Exactly what you did.
36. Okay, I'm back up from 66 hit points.
Okay.
102.
Hope pulls out dagger and just shanks you twice, Harry.
Yep.
All right.
And
so
as
let's
the daggers sink in, you feel the life force ebbing out of you.
Okay. All right. That's how it's gonna be now, huh? Okay. First attack. 24.
Yep.
And you know what? We will make this a disarming attack.
Okay.
Yep.
So and
if
that
I drop the dagger, does it go back to the belt? Because it's a tune. It's connected to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 slashing.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I have a belt that returns
Like instantly
No,
without
not instantly. No, it will go back, not instantaneously.
Okay.
Yes.
That
Well,
so
no, it has been instantly because I've like thrown it and then made a second
Yeah,
attack.
but not
9.
until
Okay.
your turn. It's not going to be like a
Okay,
reaction.
got it.
Strength saving throw
Okay.
versus 19. You have advantage
Oh.
because you're raging.
Oh, I am. On strength, yeah, do 17.
So
So you drop your weapon.
Ding, 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 ding. So the dagger hits the ground.
All right, so that's 9.
The dagger is currently on the ground.
Second attack. Natural 20.
Oh no.
Oh, let's make this a
And it does. It
Um,
will double your combat superiority dice for you.
yes, it will. Let's make this a crap. There's not anything hugely effective here. Let's just go with it's not gonna you're gonna succeed because you're raging, but menacing attack just because I get the extra damage die.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and I'm looking at something in your bio page.
Okay.
Or-
I'll leave it.
So there's 18 slashing
Okay.
plus
snapback belt. Yep.
so a total of 25 slashing, and you have Berserker, right?
No.
Oh,
Ancestral
does being
guardians.
frightened
Actually,
can you
I'm
actually
gonna
be
use
frightened then?
uncanny dodge on one of those.
Okay.
Yes. You can't.
so-
Yeah. Hope does not have mindless rage, so will not.
Okay.
Can be frightened. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So having that brings it down to 25 to 12,
Okay.
and you have to make a Wisdom saving throw
Okay.
versus 19.
Let's see. Nope.
You are frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Ugh. Okay.
That's my second attack. Third
Mhm.
attack, 30
Yep.
for 9 slashing.
Okay.
Action surge,
Oh no.
Harry's going to give you a reason to be frightened in a second.
Yep.
32 for 17 slashing, so 8. 22.
Yep.
For 14 slashing.
17.
And a 30 for 13 slashing.
Ow! I'm
Fighter.
Whack, 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 whack.
So, in the distance, the two of you hear, "I call the victor." As
Already
some
dead.
of you, well, I mean, he wasn't here to hear that.
I know. That's why I say it.
As those of you that aren't in the middle of the fight, and those of you that are in the fight, see Sigurd approaching. Because he wants to get in on this shit. And it's back to Hope's turn.
Yep.
The dagger on the ground snaps back to the snapback belt.
Ow!
And it's your turn, Hope.
I back up.
Okay.
Provoking attack opportunity.
No. I'm gonna disengage.
Okay.
The bonus
Okay.
action. So no.
Disengage, back up.
Disengage. And
Cannot move any closer currently.
I can't. And I'm going to I'm going to regain a point of healing. So I'm at 28 now.
Hold on just a second.
Were you not taking
Oh,
half
nope.
damage for raging?
Hold on.
Oh, I wasn't.
I is the sentinel.
Damn
feat.
it. I was not. I keep
Oh.
forgetting
Yeah.
that.
That is
Yeah.
fair.
That is true.
I have the sentinel feat. I can make an opportunity attack against you even if you disengage.
Damn it.
All right,
Okay.
Well, hang on. First, Hope has to readjust health because he wasn't
Sorry.
qualifying for
Yeah,
the
no,
fact
that was
she
all half damage.
That would oh goodness.
So
I
it's 12 down to 6.
Mm-hmm.
6 plus 4
Yeah, but I
plus
don't know what it was starting at, so I'm just
Well,
gonna
add. So what you do, right? Because you didn't know where you started at.
You're at 102 because you said you did 36 damage. You
Yep.
got that back up from 66.
Yes. Yep. So
See, I pay attention.
The other way that you can do is just going back to the damage you're taking and
Yeah.
add half of that damage back to your health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
so 102 minus 12 is or 12, which is actually 6 because you uncanny dodge. So
Minus
96,
6.
4, 92, 88 or 84.
I'm just gonna let you do the math.
84, 77 minus you're 71.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Never mind. I don't regain a health because I'm not below half. Okay.
And then you back up and then I attack you again.
Yep.
With the sentinel
Go
feat.
for it.
Yep.
Doesn't
Which
she
is a
fail to
natural
back up?
20.
It is.
Doesn't she fail to get away
now-
from you? You do that?
It is no longer advantage because reckless attack only
Right,
happens until your
because-
next turn. But the first roll was a 20,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's still a crit.
For 14, so 7.
Yep.
And your speed gets reduced to 0, so you can't back away.
Yes.
Sentinel's a good feat, man.
Sentinel is a
It
ridiculous.
is a really ridiculous feat.
That's why I got it too.
Yep. All right. And that was my bonus action.
She knows otherwise. As far as she can tell, shit got real, and she doesn't stop making shit real until the other person makes shit not real.
I'm gonna pause and do insightful fighting. So I make an insight check against your deception.
Right? Let me look at frightened for a second, because that may be a
Yeah, ability checks have disadvantage as long as you're
Ability
within
checks?
sight.
Yep.
look.
I believe so.
Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. So yeah,
Oh,
it will
damn.
so it will be a disadvantage insight.
All right. I'll try. It's my great track record
I
at
mean, my
insightful
deception
fighting.
is kind of shit.
12.
I do not have advantage. 9.
Finally, it works.
So what is it?
I'm basically like watching you and kind of figuring out how you work.
Right.
So mechanically, what do you get out of that?
Yeah.
I get let me see. Let me find that.
Do you
real
actually
quick.
get information out of a successful
I-
one? I know it's rare that
Uh,
this has
I
happened,
don't
but
get
there are things that you
yeah,
get.
it is very rare. So I can use sneak attack even if I have even with disadvantage.
Okay.
And it lasts 1 minute.
Okay. So that's what you get. All right. So
Mhm.
you get permanent sneak attack.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you sure that that's how that works, Mara? Because as far as I'm aware, it says you get sneak attack against it if you don't have advantage, but not if you have disadvantage.
It says you can use sneak attack even if disadvantage. This was the UA
Oh, okay.
one.
Yeah. That was one of the things that was changed when it got to Xanthar, but you were still using the UA. That's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Right. And that was my bonus action, my action, so that's my turn. I'm just
Okay.
watching.
Once Hope stops attacking, Harry is readying an action to attack should she get attacked, but she holds on like, are we done?
Oh.
I'll make a roll to see.
That's when daggers get thrown.
Yeah.
All right. Straightens up. Smacks you. Well, it would be on the shoulder, but it's really more like on the hip. Because, 3 foot. Good fight.
Ow.
So you won. Does that mean it's my turn or his turn? Pointing up at.
No. She did not win.
She won. You surrendered.
No.
While
We
that
both
debate is
backed
going
away.
on, Gashkar and Gwynferon, you two have approached person whose name I
Svanhilder.
Svanhilder. You two have approached Svanhilder, who is
And then the one with no arms says, so we'll call it a draw.
There was a lot of holes in that story.
There was a lot of holes in the night as well.
Fair enough.
Well done.
Svanhilder, who is currently buckling a cloak over her shoulder.
Svanhilder,
Yes.
we were hoping to catch you. We're in need of a guide who knows the area near the Feywood.
You know my name. Yours is?
Gashkar, Stormcaller. This is Gwynferon. We have a handful of other companions who would be going on this journey as well.
She looks up at what is currently a fight happening.
Including those two.
Okay. Leans on her bow, and so you see that this bow seems to be made from dragon bone. It looks to be made out, and Kashkar, you can tell us because you're more familiar with dragons than people are.
Yep.
It looks to be made out of the bones of a dragon's wing, with bits of the skin used as reinforcement throughout the bow and also for the string. Decorated a couple of places with dragon scales that look to be blue scales, which she leans on. So, where exactly are you looking to go that you need a guide?
Gwen?
There's a icy cave near the boundary between Isenfeld and the Feywood. It's apparently a rather dangerous place, but there's rumors of a powerful staff held within. Goes by Weaveborn or some such sobriquet.
Are you speaking of Ice Mall's gullet?
Well, this is the first time I've heard the proper name given to it.
Describe,
Tell us a bit about Ice Mall, if you wouldn't mind.
Just describe to me what you're talking about if you've seen it before.
And he'll give the rough description of the landmarks there, with the mouth of the cave and the ice.
She'll nod of you. Yeah, that sounds like it's what you're looking for. The gullet is well, it's said to be the leftovers of an ancient titan made of frost and snow, whose body decorates the land in which we live. She says, indicating the snowy expanse around you.
Would that be the one that made that massive footprint?
It's believed possibly, but no one knows for sure. The gullet is a cave that seems to go on forever into a massive open cavern that would be, if it was a body of a titan, the stomach. But I've only ever ventured just inside the maw. It's incredibly dangerous, and all manner of beasts make their home there, including, I believe, there's a. When last I checked, there's actually a Remoraz nest inside the gullet.
Some of our companions have been dying to fight some.
Well, you will get a chance if you're going that way.
It seems that Snowdrift itself makes a rather decent use of the leavings of Remoraz. Could we convince your services in response for any Remoraz parts we bring back, kept in your possession and donated to the town?
He sort of thinks for a second. If you survive, the glory of the first kill will be mine. Aside from that, you can do what you please. Sound fair?
Good to me.
Quite reasonable. Aye.
When were you expecting to leave?
Hopefully on tomorrow's dawn.
Oh.
But if there's a better time, we'll bow to your expertise. We are strangers to this land.
There is... Depending on what you're trying to do, there are better times for leaving than others, but dawn is not a bad one for overland travel, especially with what I'm assuming are a group of outsiders to Eisenfeld.
Yes.
Very well.
Aside from being outsiders to Eisenfeld, I think I am the only one among the number who calls a snowy place home.
The ages of Eisenfeld, even from similar environments, are unique. Easier to spot when the sun is out.
Mm.
We will leave in the morning then, if that's what you desire.
If you have need to speak with us again before we leave, I believe most of us are planning to attend the feast that Volunteer invited us to.
I'm actually heading that way myself. I stay in the Hunter's Lodge when I'm in town.
We'll be pleased to see you there then.
It looks like your friends are enjoying a fight, though. Perhaps some of you would like to step into the arena.
There are several of us that would like to enter the arena. Are you offering a challenge?
No, I've already had my fight for the day. If there's some need you have, I'm certain there are many, many young fighters around here that would gladly throw down. Though I would caution, the arena fight is bare knuckle. I see your friends are using their weapons.
Yes. I noticed some interesting belts of a design not the same, but similar to my own on some of the fighters, including you.
She sort of looks you over, taps the belt that she has now, and up close. Give me an Arcana check, both of you. Now that you're a little closer to it.
+0. 9. I can't tell how strong this belt is.
Gashkar,
that would be 28.
Gashkar, you've got no idea. Gwynferon, this is a belt of frost giant strength. The runes that are indicative of a frost giant. These belts are a trophy that my people have and use when we have a contentious relationship with the giants of the land, and as such, oftentimes we will raid their homes and take from them whatever magical items we can. A frost giant belt is a sign of great glory and honor, and one not easily taken or won, especially in an arena where strength rules over all.
Speaking of which, you mentioned they'd be in bare knuckle fighting, so no physical weapons allowed within the arena, I take it.
Bare knuckles only.
What about those who carry with them weapons of a, shall we say, less physical nature?
while it's not exactly to the spirit of the arena, and you certainly wouldn't make any friends, there are no explicit rules against it.
Fair enough.
That's
Duly
some
noted.
goddamn bullshit.
We're over there or just Gwen?
No,
and
they're
Jack?
you guys are all elsewhere. This is just Gwyn and
Yeah.
Gashkar right now.
Well, I think it might be good to make a name for ourselves before we take off in the morning.
Excellent. And maybe I'll see if there's a individual in charge of the arena who might be wanting to put on a special exhibition fight and see how any of them choose to fare against, say, an individual of various talents.
I will warn you, as with everything in this town, the arena itself is just as much an honor system as anything else. There's no honor to be gained in mercilessly beating down random outsiders. So if you're looking for a fight in the arena, you will have to have something to entice honor or glory.
Interesting.
She kind of, Gashkar kind of switches the quiver of Ilana and pulls out the wyvern tail axe. I think I've got some trophies that might gather someone's eye.
That'll be up to you to bargain. What outsiders see as having value versus what we see here as having value is not always the same. Well, if you need me, I'll be in the lodge. And she hikes the bow over her shoulder and marches off towards the Hunter's Lodge at roughly the time where Hope and Harry have decided to end their fight.
As I was saying, both won. Excuse me, I'm just gonna lie on the ground for a minute.
Sigurd.
I'm just saying,
bursts
I
out
don't
laughing.
have to lie on the ground.
Okay. So if they both won, do we each take one of them?
Sure.
Which one do you want?
He nods towards
I'm
Harry.
pointing at the giant.
He nods towards Harry.
Yes.
And at that point is where we're going to end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.